Welcome to East Midlands Airport. Or should we say, the easiest Midlands Airport. The airport at the heart of the UK, flying to over 70 destinations. The easier airport with faster check-in and security that gives you extra time to relax and get in last-minute shopping. The airport that gets the kids on board before they get bored. East Midlands Airport, the easiest way to get away. To book your next holiday, visit eastmidlandsairport.com.
introduce you boys, and I'll just say, gentlemen, good afternoon, but that is me handing to you, so you boys just take over from then, all right?
Lovely.
Obviously, a massive bonus. So he comes in with Ben Might, and Alex Green replaces Tom Scriven.
I think it goes without saying how good Rahan Ahmed is, but what does he bring you for this match? Hopefully the rest of us...
Oh, we're really windy. Sorry about that.
All three facets.
How are you? Right, go on boys. Walk the foxes.
Proud Norwich last man in the back. So I hope they get behind us, and hopefully we give them something to smile about.
Leicestershire T20 captain Ben Green there speaking to Adam just after the toss and play. Due to get underway very shortly. Commentary this afternoon coming from Adam Whitty, but also from BBC Radio Leeds Yorkshire commentator Jonathan Deutsch. And delighted to say also with us the Leicestershire batter Sol Budinger, of course, out injured at the moment, joining Adam and Jonathan for the game. Gentlemen, good afternoon.
Thank you very much, Jack. And we have started about 40 seconds early with Leicestershire underway in this game here at Uptonsteel, Grace Road. It is Leicestershire second bottom of the North Group, but 2 wins in a row against Yorkshire, who have won 4 of their 5 matches. High white cloud above us. It's a bit windy, relatively mild June afternoon. Hassan Ali is bowling. His first ball was a dot. His second ball is going to be a dot as well. Rishi Patel just dabbing it into the offside where there is no run. Jonathan Deutsch, hello.
I don't think he was too chuffed either there. No. Rian just sat on his bat at the non-striking end. Yeah, good, thanks. Good to be back. Just been going through the sort of record between the sides in the history of, obviously with Leicestershire's proud record in particular in the early years of the T20s. They still have the edge in this fixture, 18 wins to 14.
That's Hassan Ali bowling from the pavilion end, runs in away from us. That is an outswinger, and it's a thick outside edge that goes to short third man. There is a slip in place, and you can hear on our effects microphone, can't you? The Barmy Army trumpeter is here today.
Yeah. Right, and they're always right beneath your commentary position, yeah. Really near your effects mic, aren't they?
Yeah. I'm delighted to say also with us is the Leicestershire batsman Sol Budinger. Sol, hello.
Thanks for having me, guys.
We're delighted to have you here. How are you seeing this? I mean, the big thing for Leicestershire, I guess, is Rahan Ahmed's inclusion and return.
Yeah, obviously it's great to have him back. I don't want to put the mocker on here first ball.
Hassan Ali bowls, and it's defended by Ahmed.
But yeah, just to have him back, a bit of experience. I know he's been away in the IPL and the England stuff, so it's good to get him back at Grace Road, to be honest.
So Leicestershire winning at Sussex on Friday night. Pretty comprehensive victory in the end. And then Yorkshire. Fantastic victory.
Oh, of course. Game. The Roses match.
As Ali, Pakistan international, their overseas player, moves past the umpire now, bowls, and down the pitch comes Ahmed. He's hit that in the air and he's going to be out. Caught at mid-on, didn't time that at all. It was a sort of hoik across the line from Ahmed, trying to be aggressive, as he so often is, and he's gone. Second ball has the England international. That's a blow for the Foxes. His return was much vaunted, but he has had to go. Ali with the wicket. The Foxes struggling right from the start.
Yeah, AJ Ty taking the catch at mid-on. Very easy catch at this level. Sol, you'd know far more about it than the pair of us, but you know, how long do you have to wait? I mean, I've commentated on games when you've gone in and teed off from ball 1, but you know, how long do you need to wait to understand what this pitch is playing like before you try and launch it as Rian just did?
I think it's a lot of it's this confidence thing. So I think if you have the mindset you're going to take on this bowler and you have the belief you're going to do it, and personally Rahan played that shot there, but if he middles that, goes over for 6 or one bounce 4, all he's got to do is clear the 30 metre, and it didn't pay off. But knowing Rahan, he'll be back next game, and that won't put him off at all.
2 changes for Leicestershire. Ahmed, one of them. Alex Green in, the England under-19 bowler. Yorkshire unchanged from that thrashing of Lancashire on Friday night. Ali with the final ball of the first over, bowling to the left-handed New Zealand international Kelly, who inside edges that, and that's going to squirt away on the leg side for a single. So not the best of starts for Leicestershire. That 2 for 1 is the score at the end of the first over. Hassan Ali's first over, only conceding 2 runs. You're listening to BBC Radio Leicester, BBC Radio Leeds. Although I guess we're about 5 different stations at once, aren't we, if we're covering Yorkshire. And we're also on the Leicestershire stream on YouTube.
Moeen Ali going to open from the Bennett end. Have I got that right?
That you have got
I've
that
got
right.
that right, yeah. The Bennett end, the opposite end of the ground to where we're sitting in the com box. And Moeen, although he didn't fire with the bat on Friday night, got a duck, second ball. He did with the ball, and he's just such a high-class player. We've seen that already in the few games that he's been sporting the Oxford blue of Yorkshire as it is. Here he is then, off spin of course, round the wicket. And that just dropped into the leg side by Kelly.
Slightly longer hair now, Moeen Ali.
Yeah.
Just taking me by surprise. Long beard and long hair.
Yeah, you can't. Obviously, when he's got the cap on, it is a strange revelation when you first see him take it off. When it's got a bit of thatch on there, as that's punched into the offside by Kelly for a single. Matthew Revis coming in to do the fielding.
Something some of us can only dream of, Jonathan, sadly.
What can I say? Nothing I can say, is there really, Adam? But, yeah, lucky. Lucky to still have it. Change of angle for Mo, because he's coming over the wicket to the right-handed Rishi Patel. And bowls it now. Rishi turns that backward as square. He wants one. Kelly does not. Fielded by Fahim Ashraf, who's started well as well. He didn't start the competition, missed the first couple of games. Hassan missed the first match against the win against Notts at Trent Bridge. So they're not at a completely settled side, but the fact that they're now going unchanged for, I think this will be 4 games, certainly 3, gives you the indicator that they have been playing well. Although in the middle of that they did lose that the only match they've lost so far to Gloucestershire last Sunday. 4 runs here for the first time from the bat of Patel, who's flicked that delivery away through mid-wicket. Couple of bounces. Always runs away nicely, doesn't it, down that side of the ground in particular here. Fast scoring ground.
Yeah, it is, especially when the sun's out and the outfield gets like lightning.
Here's Mo again. A reverse attempt this time by Patel. Can't get it away. James Wharton is just round the corner waiting for a mistimed flick. 2 men outside the circle are on the cow corner boundary really, and then square. There's Moeen again, and once more flicked into the leg side. Bowled a couple of overs in the power play on Friday night. Hasn't always been the case in the few matches so far, but it served Yorkshire well, and I think so far my observation, Adam, would be clearly they've been bowling and batting well, but if there was one discipline, bowling for me would be the key so far for Yorkshire. They've been really, really good in all bar one match.
Probably the same for Leicestershire, I would say. We'll come back to that in a second. I'm just getting word, I think if you're listening to us on the radio, on Radio Leeds and Radio Leicester, that we're glitching a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial down. We're going to be back in a second. I'm just going to turn it off and on again, I think is the phrase. So we'll be back in a second, ladies and gents. If you're you're still with us on the stream, I'll carry on. Hassan Ali is going to bowl. Straight delivery played into the ground there by Nick Kelly. And there is no run. Yeah, Leicestershire have bowled a lot better, I think, in the previous few games. We'll get Sol's thoughts on that in just a second.
Yep, it's Fahim as opposed to Hassan, by the way, at this,
oh, sorry,
this end. Yeah.
Forgive me. Fahim it is, running away from us now, from the pavilion end. And it's charged by Kelly and smacked down the ground. And it's dropped. Was that dropped out at deep backward square leg? A big hoik across the line from Kelly. And he's been dropped out at deep backward square leg. Who's that out there?
Will Luxton.
Yes.
Yeah, so the ball dying on Will as he came in to take the catch. It's the sort of catch you'd normally expect him to take, to be fair, but it's a couple of feet off the ground when ball meets hand and he couldn't hold on.
So welcome back to Radio Leicester, Radio Leeds listeners. Hopefully things are a little bit better for you as Fahim comes in. That's edge for 4. We missed a drop catch while we were away, and the score now 13 for 1. Kelly with an uppercut that gets a thick top edge and rushes away for 4. So that now things starting to pick up a bit for Leicestershire. Sol Bellinger, your thoughts on the past few shots?
Yeah, I think showing good intent here, the boys. Obviously, tough chance in the deep. It's quite hard to pick up the ball, especially that side. I've fielded there a few times with the dark bushes, and but yeah, a difficult chance, but for the next ball.
13 for 1 the score, as that's driven handsomely down the ground by Kelly. It's just deflected by Fahim.
Yeah, he was trying to deflect it onto the stumps, wasn't he, in the hope, I think, that the non-striker was out of his ground.
So 14 for 1. We've got 2 balls left off the 3rd over. And we're talking about the batting. I think you may correct me if I'm wrong here, Sol. I'll ask you after this ball, but hasn't quite fired on all cylinders yet, although we saw quite a lot from Aston Turner the other day. Here's Patel, who waits, goes for a massive slog over towards Cow Corner, and the ball hits his body and squirts away into the leg side for a leg bye. What do you make of that? Yeah,
I think it's obviously it's a new look team for us this year. Few new signings. They haven't played in the North Group before, playing in new grounds for the first time, and yeah, especially in this format, I think when things go your way and you get the luck and you play in that aggressive nature, you're going to get it more often than not. And it just hasn't really fired the first few games when I was playing.
I'll ask you about that in a second. This for Fahim. Final ball of the 3rd over. 15 for 1 is the score. Kelly 9 not out. Waits and cuts this. He moves away from his stumps and cuts it to cover. There is no run. So the end of the over, 15 for 1 is the score. 5 and over Leicestershire are going at. This is probably the first time that Leicestershire fans will have heard you since what was a horrible looking injury on the boundary at Old Trafford, where you were taken off in the golf buggy, weren't you? How are you?
Yeah, I'm on the mend. Yeah. I'm seeing the knee specialist tomorrow to find out the results and how long I'm out for, but it's still a bit swollen, and I know Liam was very, very distraught, but I've spoken to Liam and he's all right now. So the way he bowled the last 2 games anyway, I'm happy for him, and he's starting to hit his ropes again, so it's good to see.
Here's Don Bess at the Bennett end then, into the attack. Didn't bowl on Friday night, but has barely bowled in the last couple of games. First ball there was flicked away square on the leg side by Rishi Patel for a single. Dom, of course, off spinner. And he's got the left-hander to bowl at here. Early days after just the 3 overs in terms of making out how this surface is playing. Here's Dom round the wicket, and lovely shot lofted. It wasn't too far from the hand of the diving short extra cover, but far enough, and that's travelled very quickly to the boundary from the bat of Nick Kelly.
Kelly has generally played the sort of anchor role in previous innings. He's batted very, very well, but he's normally let other batters do the slogging, but it looks to me like he's going to be the aggressor here.
Here comes Bess again. And Kelly forcefully along the deck, this time to Revis up at long off for a single. Good atmosphere. Not sure what the attendance would be, but there's a fair few in.
Family fun day today.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yorkshire trying to spoil that bit of fun.
Ruins
we'll see how that goes
fun.
though. In comes Bess, and that one with a reverse sweep is helped round the corner to Fahim Ashraf. They've got a single to what was short third man originally. I mentioned 18 wins for Leicestershire. 11 of those have come here at Grace Road. Yorkshire have won 6 times down here previously, and just the one tie between the sides in T20 history, which came on this ground in 2015. Lovely shot here. Full is just over pitched, hasn't he, Don Bess? And Kelly's opened the face and drilled that away through extra cover for 4.
Yeah, nice cricket shots. I think at the minute he's just he's playing proper cricket shots, hitting it through the field. Hopefully it can continue with Nick. He's striking them quite well. Touchwood.
Bess in again. Kelly this time a little more circumspect, better length from the bowler on that occasion. So Kelly on to 18 from 11. Patel 7 off 10, 26 for 1 after 4 overs. So 11 coming from that over.
And we're seeing slower bowlers, spin bowlers earlier on in the power play now more and more, aren't we? And it being incredibly effective, because as a batter, I guess as an opener, you are having to force the issue a bit more. Yeah,
I think also this year we played on probably different wickets to past years. I think we played more on the left-hand side of the block, where the way I'm looking at now, which I tend to be a bit flatter and not as slow. So I think a lot of teams have used a slower bowl, especially here.
AJ Ty is going to bowl the 5th over from the pavilion end. His first delivery is straight, and it is inside edged from Patel for a single.
Just looks a bit tough there. Obviously Rishi can strike him really well, and he's probably trying a bit too hard to try to hit it too hard as well. So if you've seen what Nick's doing, he's just timing the ball well, hitting it through where the ball's supposed to go. So obviously the wicket might be on the slower side.
Yeah.
It's well worth mentioning the women's game that came before, which is illustrative of that. I'll come to that in a second. As Ty moving away from us now, bowls a short delivery that's pulled forward to square. That's going to be 4 on 2 bounces, right to the pitch of the ball, Kelly, and charge down the track. He likes to do that, Kelly, get to the pitch of the ball or as close to it as he can, and that was a whack through mid wicket for 4 runs. And this is an aggressive innings from him, isn't he? But he's playing the numbers and, as you say, playing the field, Sol.
Yeah, I think especially when you've got 2 out, I think you can keep it simple and you go to your go-to areas where there's no one on the boundary.
Ty up to the wicket, bowls, back goes Kelly. Yes, the women's game, Leicestershire only managed 109. And Northampton just struggled to get it. It looked a slow pitch. It was difficult to get the ball away. Few demons in the pitch, I think, but it was the slowness of it that stood out to me, having watched it. 31 for 1 is the score. You listen to BBC Radio Leicester, BBC Radio Leeds, and the Leicestershire YouTube stream. Ty is sent back. The umpire sort of put his arm out and then moved it back in, but Ty was already running in, so he's going to turn and run back. 39 years old. I was seeing he's Australian, but he's not an overseas player, is he? Has he got a passport, or he's got, yeah. He runs in now, and that's flashed by Kelly. Backward is square. That's 4 runs. Cut shot, and a late cut shot. Flick of the wrists from Kelly, and it rushes away behind square. And what was a slow start has turned into a much better power play for Leicestershire. They are now 35 for 1 with 2 balls left of the 5th over. Ty, 28 on his back, broad-shouldered, tall bowler. Moves in now, bowls. Oh, that felt like it was in the slot, but I think Ty just took a little bit off that, didn't he?
Yeah, I think the boundary ball have been pace on, and I think the ones in the dots have been the pace off. So that was a theme here, especially in the first game against Worcester. We found it very tough, and the pace was off, trying to hit through the field. So that might be something to think about.
Ty, right arm over the wicket, bowls to the left-handed Kelly, who ducks under a very good bouncer, and that is the end of the 5th over. There were 9 runs off it, and Leicestershire are 35 for 1, having been put into bat by Yorkshire, with Kelly 26 off 17. He's facing most of the balls, and then Patel 8 off 11.
Yep, Johnny seems to be happy enough with the way things are going out there. I still want to go in the power play, and Moeen's going to bowl a second over of the power play, then having gone for 5 in his first over, the second of the match. Starting off here against Rishi Patel.
Slog sweep's coming in.
Over the wicket.
Oi.
And there you go, the slog sweep involves stepping outside leg and smashing it straight to cover.
He'll do it this over. I know Rishi. I think you look at the field, big gap between square leg and mid wicket.
He's just brought Don Bess across from the leg side to the off.
Wide outside off.
35 for 1 still then. In comes Moeen, and he gives him the charge here, and that's gone a long way. That has gone a long way over long on into the crowd at the Bennett end. 6 from the moment he left the bat. He used his feet really well.
Yeah, it's a good shot by Rish. I think this is his match-up, ball spinning in. So I think he'll keep going here, personally, what I know of Rishi Patel.
What has Moeen got as a response then? 41 for 1 with that half dozen. Oh, he's got him here, surely. AJ ties underneath it and takes a very easy catch, just lofted wide of mid-off, but plenty of time for Ty to get underneath it and take his second. Yorkshire have taken their second wicket. Leicestershire 41 for 1 and Patel gone for 14. 41 for 2, I should say, and Patel gone for 14.
Yeah, unlucky Rish. I think what we've seen already, it's quite hard to hit down the ground here. 2 of the wickets, I think it's a lot easier to hit square of the wicket. That's where the boundaries have gone. It's quite hard to force it, so hopefully there's a message run across to the dressing room for the boys to obviously he's going to try target that for him. That's his match-up, spinning in, but it's a shame because he was getting ready to go then.
Yeah, completely agree. I mean, it just feels like it's sticking a little bit, doesn't it? So you'd imagine there's going to be a few more dismissals where players get under the ball like that. Yeah,
I think it's smart field from Mo and Johnny, because like you said then, it's just a sticky wicket, hard to force it straight, but hopefully our batters learn a bit from that, and like what from Nick Kelly's doing, just hitting proper cricket shots into the gap.
And that brings in our old friend, well, still friend to Yorkshire folk, Jonathan Tattersall. Right-handed, of course. Batted really well here, didn't he, for Yorkshire in a red ball game a couple of years back, and he's going to get a boundary off his first delivery against his old club with a little flick off his legs. All about touch, Johnny Tats.
Yeah, I think it was a leg by,
I think was it a leg
he's
by?
Got I think so, but okay. I do love Badger Tats. Obviously, his nickname Badger. We're getting along well, and it's been a great addition to the Foxes.
Yeah, well spotted. I thought he'd got a tickle on it, but obviously off the thigh pad. So he is still on naught. I want to get off there, and he will do this time because he definitely has hit that. Swept it backward of square, and will pick up a single. So 46 for 2 in the final over of the power play. And Kelly back on strike, 26 off 17. He's going through the several higher or highest scores between these two sides. It's not feeling like it's going to be one of those days, the way the pitch is playing at the moment. In comes Moeen and bowls, and Kelly plays that out square on the offside, and in quickly to field is Luxton to complete that over at 46 for 2. But yeah, both sides have managed scores of 200 plus against each other on 4 occasions over the years. It's just not quite feeling so like a 200 deck.
No, I'm from what I've seen today, I think maybe 180 to 190. It's probably a good score. Obviously now we're 2 down, which is, you don't mind 2 down in the power play with wickets in hand. Maybe the rates at, if you get that up to 8.5, but yeah, you'll definitely take the 2 wickets getting sent in. I know Ben Green wanted to bowl on it, so you know, I think the wicket tally is going to be important, and we've got some firepower at the back end, so hopefully you just keep them intact in the next couple of overs.
Fahim Ashraf is going to bowl the 7th over Yeah, that run rate, Sol mentioned, is 7 2/3 at the moment. And Tattersall waits. 1 not out. Bends the knees as Ashraf is in, right arm over the wicket, and it's clipped into the leg side. He'll get a single. So Sol, you're talking about struggling to go down the ground. If you're in these conditions, what shots are you looking to play for the safer options?
Yeah, I think it might sound a bit opposite compared to red ball, where you're always thinking straight. I think sometimes square of the wicket is probably better, especially when you hit these pockets here. And maybe not too square, but there's big pockets here at mid-wicket, in between mid-off and cover. There's big pockets of space to hit through.
So Kelly, 26 not out, left-handed, waits for Faheen. He's in, and that's pulled around the corner for 4 runs. The fine leg is quite square, and there's a short fine leg. It's probably more of a deep backward square leg actually out there. And it was just pulled round by Kelly for 4 more, who looks in the groove today, does the New Zealander. And he moves on to 30, the 50 up for the Foxes.
Poor delivery, wasn't it, really? Banged in, sat up on this pitch that we've been talking about.
That run rate up to 8 now and over. And Faheen, jet black hair, kicks up his heels, running away from us at the pavilion end. He's up to the wicket, he bowls, driven pleasantly to mid-off, and I always get nervous as having been run out quite a few times playing club cricket, driving it to mid-off and then running. But I'd imagine that Nick Kelly's a bit quicker than me. 52 for 2 is the score.
You've got to pick your fielders for that, Adam, sure. Got to suss that one. I've not spoken to Fahim yet. I've spoken to Hassan the other night after the Roses match. He's a character. He's a proper character. Yeah, yeah, good fun.
It is Fahim to bowl the 4th delivery of this, his 2nd over. He's gone for 13 so far. That was a slower delivery that's whacked into the leg side to deep square leg. It's just going to be a single. Leicestershire lost their first 3 games, but have won their last 2. And 3 from 3, I think, after 3 wins and 3 defeats, rather. And the opening 6 wouldn't be too bad given the start that they had. As Kelly waits, the left-hander comes down the track, hits down the ground for 6. That's a great shot. Right to the pitch of the ball and skied it. And that has gone well over the benches behind us and probably into the bar down there. What a shot, Sol. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, obviously, I said it's tough hitting down the ground, and he just ran down and hit him 10 rows back. But yeah, good shot. Obviously, I think he's premeditated pace off there. Played it a bit like a spinner. So good shot, Nick.
There's nobody on the infield in front of square on the leg side. We've got a long on, deep mid-wicket, deep backwards square leg. Moeen Ali is at short fine leg as Faheen runs in. Kelly moves away from his stumps and cuts straight to backward point. There is no run. Oh, there is going to be a run, in fact, because the throw that comes in from backward point misses the stumps. There's nobody backing up, and so there's a run added to the total. 60 for 2 is the score now, and there were 14 runs off that over. Not a bad one for Leicestershire's perspective. Kelly looks very much in the groove. He's 38 not out. Tattersall is 3 not out and hasn't seen much of the action yet. Thoughts on Yorkshire's bowling performance so far?
Well, that's a pretty grim over, isn't it? I mean, that's the most expensive over of the match so far. Probably not quite as on it as they have been. There's been, as I said, 3 overs out of the 7 where if you went back and started them again, you'd probably bowl those deliveries differently, but it's not terrible, and they've got plenty of time to put things right. Here's Moeen with his 3rd over, and Kelly flicking off the legs to the incoming Fahim from deep backward square for 1 run. Kelly on to 39. Yeah, that maybe also trying to get used to the length that they want to bowl. Sol was saying, and we've been talking about, players getting under the ball. I think the key to that 6 in the previous over, which was a beauty, wasn't it? He got right to the pitch. If you're not going to get quite there on good pitches, you'll probably get away with that. On a pitch like this, it might just hold up, and you might get underneath it. So if you're going to launch yourself, you've probably got to be right up to the pitch of the ball to feel confident that you're going to be able to clear the ropes. As Tattersall plays a single up to Revis at long on. .62 for 2. Kelly back on strike, and he's also going to find Revis with a nicely, felt like a hockey shot somehow did that. You know, when they launch it downfield long.
Timing it beautifully, Kelly.
Yeah, really is, isn't
that?
40 off 24. He's looking at a big danger to Yorkshire at the moment. Tattersall sweeps nicely. And Luxton's down at deep backward square leg for the single. And you know, Johnny Tats, we know that he'll keep running the ball around. It's probably a great time for him to go in, actually, because he'd still be more of an innings builder in T20 cricket than some people.
Yeah, exactly. He just hit the pockets, run hard.
Kelly back on strike. Oh, now then, Bess has dropped that. He's hit it like a tracer bullet to short extra cover. It's one of those where you'd had no time to think about it, and it either sticks or does not. He's feeling that as he disappears off to the boundary. But Kelly's been dropped.
Yeah, it did.
Did it bounce?
Bounce?
Oh,
Yeah.
apologies. I thought it had gone straight.
Yeah. It hit it hard. That's all I know.
65 for 5. I'll get the optician's appointment sorted during the week as Tattersall cuts one out to Wharton on the point boundary, and we'll pick up a single. End of the over then. That's 8 now complete. That one went for just the half dozen, so that was better from Moeen.
So 66 for 2. He's done well, hasn't he, Moeen? I've got his stats here. What is it? He's not gone off. He's not gone for many.
No.
3 for 16 against Lancashire, wasn't it? So 4 and over. Bit of a gun for hire. I was trying to work out. I was reading about him this morning whether he has retired, whether he said he'd retired from county cricket or not, and whether he had reversed his decision to come out of county retirement. But he's doing pretty well as it is. Ty to bowl his second over from the pavilion end. Down the pitch comes Tattersall. He's hit this high in the air, but there's a slip from the fielder. It's gone over his head. It was straight down his throat, but he slipped. Did the man out there? It was James Wharton who was at deep mid wicket, and it went right over his head. Just watch it sail over the boundary rope. I think it was 4 in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, you cannot imagine that he would have dropped that had he stood on his feet. He's one of the best fielders in the game. He's a fantastic fielder. He's taken some great catches, and that was a dolly, wasn't it, really?
Right in front of the rowdy fans as well. Tie in, and Tattersall goes for a huge slog, I think down the ground, and misses it. There is no run.
Yeah, immediately and sheepishly just checking that he still had some studs in the soles of his boots after he went on his backside.
Ty, who took 1 for 20, that's 6 2/3 and over on Friday night, moves away from us now. Past the umpire, bowls a low full toss, which is wristily flicked away to deep backward square leg, and it's just a single added to the total. 71 for 2, sorry, is the score. So Leicestershire play Yorkshire in the T20 Blast. Won the game. Was it Derbyshire? He won the game with the bat, didn't he? Came in when they were 8 down.
Yeah, tight. Well, he did his first ball for 4, second ball for 6. Then Hassan came in and hit 2 sixes in quick. I think the successive balls over long on into the big stand at Headingley. Yeah, just bizarre. 9th wicket partnership.
Hassan's coming round the wicket to the left-handed Kelly, who drills him down the ground. He doesn't quite time it. I think that hit too far down his bat, so he'll just get a single. So he moves on to 42 from 26.
How many T20 matches do you see when a side's that far behind in the match and they just capitulate at the end? The last couple of wickets mean nothing. They're out for 0, and they got 50-odd partnership in 23, 24 balls, I think it was.
Tie in, outside off stump, driven but not perfectly timed by Tattersall, and it's stopped by Bess. His hands are probably still stinging from the previous over.
Speaking of Tattersall, the chairman of the Johnny Tattersall Appreciation Society, Yorkshire lad, has messaged in saying 54 matches in T20 for JT, averaging 21.04.
It's about a strike rate of about 120, I think I looked up the other day. There's Kelly facing now, though, as Ty comes in, and Kelly lets that go by, and it's been signalled a wide. We had Kelly look to the square leg umpire. The square leg umpire looked to the umpire at the non-striker's end, and then eventually the wide was given. It was a good bounce of that, to be fair. 74 for 2. Hum around Grace Road as Kelly, left-handed batsman, waits. Ty is in. It's a good Yorker from Ty, and all that he can do is dig it out. There's a shot at the stumps which misses, and it's fielded for the man running in from long on in the end. And that's the end of the 9th over. 75 for 2 is the score. Tattersall 12 off 11. Kelly 43 off 27. And there were 9 runs off that over. How well placed the Leicestershire Sol?
Yeah, I think it's good. We've had a good couple of overs. Obviously, nearly halfway in the innings. So, like you're saying, Kelly to face another 20 balls in this innings is going to come quickly, and I think that's going to hold the key. And I think everyone can bat round him. I think, like you said, him being the foundation, I think it's kind of turned this game, and he's going to be the explosive one.
Still got Ashton Turner to come.
There's one thing Yorkshire need at this stage. I think it's probably the wicket of this man, Nick Kelly. And it's Jaffa Chauhan with his leg spin, bowling over the wicket to the left-hander. First up from the Bennett end, it's a reverse sweep. Ooh, not so far off. A direct hit from Hassan Ali, that short third man. Tattersall on strike. I've also been seeing a video of Dutch bird Kate, as she calls herself, sent me a video this morning of Moeen Ali signing for Antwerp Anchors in the Belgian competition. He's not signed to play in the 2 red ball games coming up, so maybe he's zipping off there for a couple of weeks to keep his T20 skills going. As Tattersall launches into this one, gave himself a bit of room, opened up the offside, and has played in with that typical Tattersall sort of grace, really. Just stroked it away up towards the big electronic scoreboard for 4.
Yeah, nice shot again. Huge gap there over cover. You got to just hit it over the man on the 30-metre on the ring. So yeah, good shot, good use of his feet, and yeah, it's good boundary.
I'm still on Antwerp Anchors. Wow. Got to be careful with that one, haven't you?
It's not your typical name either, is it, for
No.
Anchors? You know, normally you're expecting something a bit more dashing than that. As Tattersall turns this delivery out towards Cow Corner, along the deck, best fields, but they get back for a well-run 2.
It's not a good name for a T20 team. You don't want to be an anchor, do you?
No.
Stop it. You stop the...
Do they all bat really slowly, do you think? Something like that? Player of the season, the one who plays the most dots in T20 cricket. Here's Jaffa bowling to Tattersall, who's got underneath this one, falling over as he plays it over short, fine leg. Luxton round to field. They're coming back for 2, and as I said earlier, he is quick, Johnny, and they've comfortably got back for a second.
That was a lovely shot. Really made room for himself, and even though Chauhan followed him, I think, didn't he? Managed to turn
Yeah, it was well bowled as well, I think. Just got away with it. Badger getting it over short fine.
84 for 2. Should have been out, of course, Johnny, with that slip by James Wharton in the field. The ball disappeared past him for 4. Would have been a comfortable catch, you would have thought, as he's coming into play here. Wharton is not quite going to get there to a nicely played reverse sweep by Tattersall. Another boundary, taking him to 24. 88 for 2.
13 off it.
Yeah.
1 ball left.
Still not feeling like 200, but there's wickets in hand, and 1 ball to the halfway stage of the Leicestershire innings. And remember, folks, it was Johnny Bairstow who won the toss and asked the host to bat first.
You mentioned innings building, didn't you, Sol? He's done that, Johnny Tattersall, but he's just started to up the ante a bit.
Yeah, he's a good player of spin as well. I think he knows the matchups. We talk about matchups in this game all the time, and he's gone and backed himself. He's used the sweeps and the reverse sweeps, and it looks in pretty good nick.
Johan, has he got a trick up his sleeve? He's certainly got the longest leg spin run up I've ever seen, and he's in and bowling. And then he's turned to leg by Tattersall, who's got one, thinking about a second, but Bess has managed to cut that off. So the end of the over, Tattersall 25, Kelly 44, 89 for 2 at the halfway stage. Where are we going with this, Sol?
I think it's 2 wickets down. I think Leicester will be happy with this, very happy. Just shy of 90, so yeah, keep the wickets in the shed. And I think if we're still 2 down with at the 15 over mark, or maybe the 14 over mark, we'll start seeing the foot being pressed a bit more. I think the main thing is keeping the wickets in hand for Leicester. And I think when you face balls on this wicket, it does look like it's getting a bit easier. So, these two at the middle look in good nick.
It's been, I think, the best built start to an innings perhaps probably this season in the T20 Blast. Fewest wickets lost early on. Hassan Ali's going to bowl his second over. His first one just went for just 2, and Tattersall waits and drills that straight back at him, and that crunched into his shin, Hassan Ali, and that is going to hurt quite a lot. There's a couple of those from Yorkshire. There'll be some big bruises tomorrow morning, won't there? Slammed it back baseball style back at Ali.
Yeah, there'll be a few Yorkshire supporters just saying, get a rub, lad. That'll be right.
89 for 2 the score. So Tattersall 25, Kelly on 44. The run rate at 8.8 at the moment. Hassan Ali understandably just taking a few minutes. 57 T20s for Pakistan. Moves in now, bowls. Tattersall makes room for himself and pulls to deep mid wicket. He will just get a single for that. England won the test match earlier, I spotted.
Listening on the way down, actually.
In the North group, Notts 38 for no loss against Derbyshire. Trying to see this. It doesn't look like there's any cross group games today. We've had some first meetings in the T20 Blast as Ali moves past the umpire now, bowls, and that smacks into Kelly's leg, and that's hurt him. Moving away from his stumps to try and pull it away fine on the leg side and fails. Dot ball.
Where are Leicestershire's cross group games? Well, one will be here, one it was the away
game. They've had both of them already. They had Worcestershire here, and then the first ever meeting between Leicestershire and Sussex on Friday night. And I think there's 3 first meetings, aren't there, in this T20 Blast? Yorkshire Gloucestershire was one of them, wasn't it? Ali kicks up his heels now, bowls a slower delivery outside off stump. That's clever bowling, and he rather frustratedly, Ali looks at the bowler. That's not been given as a wide, has it? Why is Ali?
No, Kelly moved outside leg stump to give himself some room, didn't he, and then ended up diving after it.
It was Ali was chuntering, that's all. Proper fast bowler, I suppose, but as you say, Kelly moved away from his stumps and tried to slam it through the covers.
I think just from watching him play a few games, Hassan Ali, like I say, he's a character, and he's certainly got plenty to say out there on the field.
Ali holds the ball in front of his chest now and thunders in. He's up to the wicket, bowls. That's pulled round the corner. There's a man out in the deep mid wicket who takes it. Great catch by Bess, and there's a bit of chat between Kelly and Ali, and which is still going as he walks off. Kelly has to go for a very good 44 from 30, but Leicestershire will have hoped that he would have been able to carry on, but he's holed out in the deep mid wicket, and Best taking a very good catch. So Hassan Ali has the breakthrough. 90 for 3 is the score.
Yeah, we're not sure, but we're just past the halfway point. So I mean, in the context of the match, and it looks like you've just got to give yourself a little bit more time than normal to get in. That's a pretty big wicket because somebody else has got to come in and start now.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was a good over as well. He's bowled well there. A lot of pace-off deliveries, if you noticed, and obviously Nick's faced a lot of balls and he's batted well, and he's trying to just put the foot down. But obviously, probably one of the best bowlers at the minute to go against, pick your matchups, but you can't fault it because That's the way he plays. He's backed himself there, trying to take the positive option for the team. And yeah, another day he's backing himself to hit that out of Grace Road.
Yeah, and in context, there's a big wicket because he's constructed a good 44 there, 29 balls. That's probably about the best you can hope for in terms of a strike rate. I would have thought on this.
Ideal Welsh, you want to kick on and get 70 to 80 and try bat as long as you can. But obviously 18 now, and this is the wicket. I think if you're a Yorkshire fan, which I'm not, which you probably want.
Ashton Turner is that wicket. Ali is in to bowl a bouncer, and it is not a wide. Turner ducked underneath it. It's a good bouncer from Hassan Ali. He's bowled a very good over there. Just a one run off it. And a wicket. Fabulous stuff from the Pakistan international. He's been going at 8 and over so far, but right now he's going at 1.5 and over. The score 90 for 3 at Grace Road. Tattersall 26, Turner, who has got 250s so far in this T20 Blast, is yet to score.
Well, what does he mean he's not a Yorkshire fan? I mean, he's sat over the Yorkshire cap on, he's got the full tracksuit.
It's not true.
I think I saw him pumping his bicep then when the wicket fell. What's going on?
He was chewing on some Wensleydale when he came in as well.
Yorkshire put at half time as well, no doubt. 90 for 3. And Jaffa is going to continue. Jaffa Chauhan at the Bennett end, bowling to Johnny Tattersall, who's flicking one along terra firma out towards Cow Corner. Revis had a long run in from long on, did the fielding a little bit quicker than Don Bess over the ground. But as I say on commentaries very regularly, any excuse for Dom to throw himself around on the ground. He loves getting mucky. Not quite sure he threw himself there, but he threw his cap. 91 for 3. Ashton Turner on strike then. Has a little pat of the pitch, a little look at the field setup, and he'll find long on, long off, Cow Corner and deep backward square on the leg side, and he'll also find that he's walking back to the dressing room because Jaffa Chauhan has just bowled him off stump, and things beginning to turn fairly quickly with the loss of those 2 wickets out there now. 91 for 4.
Well, I think it's brave bowling here as well. He's tossed it up above the eye line to a guy who can hit them out of the park for fun. You got to give credit to that bit of bowling, because that could have gone over the indoor school there, but it might have been the wrong one as well.
I think it was the wrong one. I think it was. I was just trying to see what's the replay again, but I think it was the wrong one. And now Ben Cox comes to the crease. Yeah, I think it was the Google. It's clever bowling.
Talking to Jaffa on Friday, he got 4 wickets, of course, in the Roses match. Cleaned up the tail, didn't he? In effect, and asking him what it's like with having Moeen around. And you could see on Friday Moeen, making a play to go and have a chat with him between overs and all of that. I mean, it can only do you good, can it, as a young bowler? Yeah,
and that's like we said before the game started. Even Johnny in this competition now for Yorkshire. I know you've got a lot of young lads to speak to and to learn off.
There's Don Bess in a few conversations with Mo as well, and obviously like for like as offies in their case. Here's Jaffa then, bowling to Ben Cox, who flexes at the knee before facing this first delivery. He's played it nicely as well. Up to AJ Ty, who's fumbled it. Had to run round from long off to do the fielding over by the scoreboard, but the fumble didn't cost a second run. I decided to stay put. So Cox off the mark, 92 for 4, and a little bit more on the shoulders of Johnny Tattersall in terms of taking this deep now for the Foxes. 27 off 19 for him, and he's stepping back and pulling that. Didn't time that one fantastically, and again it just feels like you take the pace off the ball, you're going to have to do a lot of work with the bat to get your runs in.
Yeah, and I think with Leicester bowling second innings, the bowler should be taking notes now. If I'm a bowler, I'm taking notes what's working, what's not working.
Chauhan in again. And Cox flicking this one in front of square on the leg side. Bess coming in to do the fielding. Had to be fairly quick to prevent the second, and was. Johnny Bairstow, that is, looks reasonably happy with things, I think, at this stage behind the stumps.
2 wickets of the 2 overseas are huge. Turner has the ability to be really, really destructive. And he's in form too.
Yeah, Johan to Tattersall, who's flicked this one off his legs to Bess, who didn't have to move so far this time to field, and they finished the over with a single. Another really good over from Yorkshire's point of view, though. Just 5 runs coming from it, plus the big wicket of Ashton Turner. Well bowled Jaffer Chauhan, 95 for 4. He's bowled 2 overs, 1 for 19.
Forgive me, there is one cross league match, Lancashire against Glamorgan, and they're 100 for 3 in their game. Both the teams in this division. Gloucestershire 95 for 4 against Worcestershire, and then there's a 3:30 start between Somerset and Warwickshire.
We head down to Southampton on a Friday night. Thanks for that one.
Well, Brighton wasn't much better on a Friday night either.
No, that's true.
On Friday.
Although you are 100 miles closer.
That's true. That's very true. Hassan Ali's going to bowl his 3rd over, and he's bowled him. That one kept really low. It might have been a slower delivery as well from Fahim, and that one sunk on Tattersall and has rocked his off stump back. I'm going to watch that again, but that didn't look like it got up at all.
No, it was a Gazunda, wasn't it?
Yeah, it just didn't bounce. But I think he took the pace off it as well, didn't he? So
it looked like a leg cutter or from the release point, but yeah, it didn't really get up. Another start, which is disappointing, but yeah, just a cluster of wickets in a couple of overs hasn't helped us, because a few overs ago I was saying we're 2 down, we're in the driver's seat, and how quickly this game can change.
So that's 3 wickets in 9 balls, that is, for Yorkshire, who have turned this game around. Ben Green is the new man in, and the reason I'm putting emphasis on the Ben is that there's an Alex Green as well. We've got 2 sets of players with the same surname, haven't we? One on either side. Got 2 Alis, 2 Greens. 95 for 5. He's got the run rate's dropped below 8. And Fahim with his first wicket, 1 for 21 at the start of his 3rd over. Jet black hair for Fahim, angled run up. He's bowling right arm over the wicket, and Green comes forward at this and drives. He hasn't had the best time with the bat, Green.
What do you do at this point, Sol? Do you try and counter and go on the attack and risk losing more wickets, or do you just sit in now for 2 or 3 overs and then hope that you're still together, you've seen the ball a bit, and you launch last 4 overs?
I think it's a tough one, because these guys batting now are 2 aggressive batsmen, and you don't want to take their natural DNA away from them. But yeah, it's tough, because if you lose, you go another bang bang here.
Very pacey run up from Fahim, and it's a straight delivery on off stump, which is just clipped to short mid wicket. Scores of 13, none, 9 and 7 for Ben Green. He's played plenty of very important innings for Somerset though in the T20, so he's very capable of doing it. It's a bit of a style icon, Ben Green, isn't he? I see fans come dressed as him.
That game at Brighton in the fall there, they did a fan club.
Moustaches and the mullets. Fahim past the umpire, bowls. Green pushes at this and gets no run from it. So we've had 4 balls, we had a wicket. We're on for a wicket maiden here for Fahim.
Yeah, it just looks tough though in this wicket when it's the top of the stumps. Obviously, you got the wicket there with Johnny Tattersall and a few of our boys getting caught trying to hit that length over the top. I think when it's banged in, it's a bit easy to score squarer, but that top of the stumps just looks, when you vary the pace, just looks quite tough.
41 on his back for him. Pakistan international charges in away from us. Cut. That's a great shot by Green. It's a very good shot for just 1. Right out of the middle of the bat. Square of the wicket out to deep point. 96 for 5.
He's a fair unit, isn't he, Ben Green? Well, I was out in the middle as I walked across the pitch and did a little video earlier on. It feels like if he hits it, it's going to stay hit. Yeah,
he can hit some big balls, especially when we're range hitting. He's probably up there, the biggest sixes out of the squad. Not like me, I just get it just over the boundary.
Final ball of the 13th over, and it's Fahim who's going to bowl it In he comes now, and Cox has to defend it, so just one off the over and a wicket for Fahim. Fantastic stuff from a Yorkshire perspective. 96 for 5 is the score. The run rate is 7.38, and you've got 2 new batters in. Green 1 from 4, Cox 2 from 3.
I reckon, if you clear the boundary by an inch or you clear it by, 100 yards, you still only get 6 in the book, don't you? So
yeah, it's true. I do think they should change that rule, though. I think if you can hit it out the ground or over 100 metres, it should be 8 or 12, So I think there's a talent in that.
They did that in the Cricket Max thing in New Zealand, didn't they? I think Martin Crowe had something to do with that, and that there were certain scoring areas where if you hit it...
You hit the ball or something, isn't it?
Yeah.
You can get 12 or...
Really?
Yeah. And they had the fans wearing the orange shirts, and if you took a catch in the crowd, you're in a prize draw.
There's Jaffa Chauhan. Oh, now then. Ben's gone. It looked like it was close. And I'm looking at the ball, following it disappearing down here. Meanwhile, Umps has raised his finger. Green's gone. 96 for 6. This, we've been saying it's looking tough out there to bat, but I don't think we saw this on the cards.
No, I'm just looking at the replay now.
Yeah, plumb. Hits him right in front of middle. So I was in your way then. Sorry, wasn't it?
I don't know. Did he get a glove? I don't know if it's hit his pad, but I thought his pad was probably, unless it's his back leg, but it looked close. His glove looked close to the ball, but maybe it was pad first. I couldn't see that replay, but his pad was outside off. I don't know.
It hit the inside.
Did it? Okay. Sorry.
Hit the inside of his pad.
I'm not an umpire either.
No, but you know more about it than me. I'm doubting my own own eyes.
Well, the umpire's put his finger up, so you've got to respect the decision, don't you? There's no referrals.
Your nemesis has gone out to bat now at number 8.
He's not. No, Liam. He's obviously the size of his legs anyway. He's a strong boy. There's only one winner in that collision, and it wasn't me. So no, he felt really bad after, but I've reassured it was a freak accident.
So left-handed Liam Travasky's he's gone and done a bit of comms with us before. He's flicked one off his legs, back of the square, and picks up a single.
90 for 2 Leicestershire were, and they are now 97 for 6.
That's some collapse in the middle order, and you'd be looking at your bowlers here going, that's a great set of middle overs. Jaffa's first one, the 10th over went for 14, but since then 1, 5 and 1. And so far in this over just 1. That's pushed into the offside by Cox, fielded by Wharton. Squarish cover. 4 wickets in 15 balls for 6 runs. Sun managing to break through to some extent. There's plenty of cloud cover around, and Jaffa's in again. This one is down the leg side, the absolute standard. It's written into all players' contracts now. If you bowl one down the leg side in white ball cricket, you have to appeal.
Yeah, try put the umpire off. Try not get the wide, isn't it?
Unfortunately for Jaffa, his powers of persuasion were insufficient, and another one on the total. And here he is again. This has been lofted out towards AJ Ty, who is quite wide, isn't he, at long off, up towards the scoreboard. A single there. So really tough now as the batting side, with just the 4 wickets in hand and still 7 overs and 2 balls to see out. Are you going to see out the full 20? It's one of those questions you've got to try and make sure you use every single delivery at your disposal, as Travasky turns one to Moeen Ali, who's in at short mid wicket. No run. And in comes Jaffa again. A loping run up. Travasky gets the ball that just spits a little bit on him, dropped his hands on it, turned it into the leg side for a single to complete. Over number 14 there at 100 for 6.
Yeah, obviously not ideal at the minute, especially when we were 2 down at the halfway mark. So a bit of recovery, but we've still got the firepower out there. 6 overs remaining. You never know. 1 big over, like we've seen with the ball, changes it a lot. 1 big over with the ball, 1 big over with the bat. But yeah, 6 overs left, 4 wickets. 160, 10 and over from now. Like it's 2 shots and over, 2 risks. So hopefully we get around there.
So there were 14 runs off the 10th over, and then 1, 5, 1 and 4 off the next 4. And the wickets have fallen, so it is a bit of a subsidence. Can they stop it? Tie to bowl the 15th over. It's a slow delivery on full on middle stump, which is glanced away into the leg side where Bess fields. His hat comes off while he does it. And a single is added to the total, 101 for 6. Travaskis onto 3.
Both sides obviously had him getting a look at the pitch now, so Leicestershire have got their opportunity to try and size up the lengths and paces they need to bowl when they're out there, and the Yorkies obviously getting a look at how they might need to adapt to that with the bat.
Yeah, I even think you can scrap, even get 150 here. You just never know in this game, like we've seen. You don't know a good score till both teams batted on it.
Tie in bowls, edged for along the ground pretty much. I think even if there was a slip cord, that probably wouldn't have carried. And it runs down to third man for another single.
Yeah, when Yorkshire won at Durham a week last Friday, it was a similar sort of pitch. It always seems to be the case when they play up there. It's a bit sticky, and they were struggling with the bat. James Wharton played a really good knock that night, and just said to me afterwards, we were just going to take it as deep as we could.
Tie past the umpire, bowls on a leg stump line that's crashed into the pads of Travaskis. Single.
We were thinking on that night, I was thinking sort of 140 would be at least a bit of something to bowl at, and they ended up just by playing the long game and therefore just being that little bit more used to the pitch, getting to 151.
Yeah.
Still, you're not looking at 151 in any T20 game these days. Solon going, that's definitely a winning score, but it felt like there was something to bowl at, and then they routed Durham for 90 odd.
Tie bowls down the pitch, comes Cox inside edge onto his pad, no run.
And that's all you need, I think. Like, just have a bit of hope and knowing that, because it is a bit of a niggly chase. It can be, it's a bit of stick or twist batting when you're trying to chase that. If we were chasing 150, opening the bat, and I'd be like, I'd rather break the back of it early. But then if you lose 3 wickets,
not you.
But if you lose three or 4 wickets in the 10 overs, and and then you go the other way.
Tie. There's a great ramp from Cox, and it's gone basically over the wicket-keeper's head for 4 runs. Moved right across his stumps. Ty saw him coming, banged it in, but he was able to scoop it over the wicket-keeper's head for 4. 107 for 6.
And this game as well, I believe that the dot balls are the second best thing. So obviously you want to take wickets, but if you're getting dots or even ones are not going to hurt you. It's the boundaries. The boundary count. They're the ones that hurt you. So if you get a good power play with a few wickets, but with a lot of dot balls, builds that dot ball pressure, and then you might have to create a wicket or out of nothing.
Tie bowls to Cox, good Yorker, driven straight at short cover for no run. The issue is that was the first boundary since the 10th over, and that is the end of the 15th over. 107 for 6. 7 came off that over from Ty. His figures none for 24 off 3 overs. So Cox is on 8 off 9. Travaskis 3 off 5. And Leicestershire after a very positive start, slowing quite a bit here.
I can't imagine you ever going in and saying, let's not break the back of this. have you ever played a maiden out in your life?
No, I don't think I've ever batted in the 8th over anyway in a T20. But yeah, I just that's just the way I've been brought up. Obviously, brought up in Australia, and I think that's the way they play. A lot of Aussies come over here and play county cricket, and they have that aggression, that fearless ways of playing cricket.
Jaffa continuing at the Bennett end, and Travaskis has swept that.
We had Jake Weatherall this year, and he was so nice to bat with. I batted with him for only 2 games, but the way he was like, just you got them under pressure now, just keep going, like they're under the pump, and it's just nice to hear that when you're batting. Not like sometimes here you hit a 4, people are like, oh yeah, just pack it in now, just get in behind it. But it's nice to hear different opinions on the game and how people go about it.
Yeah, and I can imagine you didn't need a second invitation. As Jaffa's in, and that's flicked off the legs by Cox nicely, but it's just going to bring in 1. There was a single, by the way, off that Travaskis sweep that was fielded by Hassan Ali earlier. So 109 for 6. And obviously tongue-in-cheek comments to Sol, who have done quite a few commentaries on matches when he's played, and if you don't get him out early, you can see a few runs on the board, and there's a few runs on the board here. Liam Travaskis, he's just waited for that over-pitching Jaffa Chauhan, and that's been dispatched straight back over the bowler's head, over the sight screen at the Bennett end for 6 runs. Lovely shot.
Yeah, he used his feet well, got to the pitch with it, and hit it dead straight. Obviously short boundary straight here, and it's probably his match-up again. I've talked about it a few times this afternoon, and the ball spinning into the left-hander. I think if you're going to take a risk, you'll probably do it against this style of bowling for Liam.
It's a great little cameo from him on Friday night, Jonathan. He got 14, which doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a vital 14 just to take them to a win. Yeah.
Ooh. Now then, did he get an edge on that? Not sure. It's flown up in the air off Johnny's gloves. Yeah, you're right. And then I talked to Jaffa after the win on Friday for Yorkshire, and he was at pains to point out that Adam Lyth's 20 off 7 balls at the top of the innings really gave us the sort of launching pad to get to where we got, sort of thing. Because you look at 20 afterwards when somebody else has got a half century or whatever, and it kind of gets dismissed, doesn't it, when you've only got a 25-second post-match report to do back to your radio station. Anyway, it does.
I think if a team scores 20 off and over, you're probably going to win that game. You know, if 1 over of 20, that's why I look at batting. I think you have 1 big over, you're probably going to win the game, because you can afford overs of less than the rate you're trying to chase. Or I feel like if you're there and the ball's there, just go and back yourself.
We just had a dot from Chauhan to Travaskis, and the same again, because he can't get that ball away more than a couple of yards into the offside. But the boundary was a very welcome one, the 6, and they've gone from 107 to 115 for 6, 8 runs coming from that 16th over.
That's what they've tried to do. They put Ben Mike at the top of the order, wasn't it, to basically do that, to try and get a 15-16 run over. It was his job to get 20 off 7, wasn't it? And
I bet he was a bit unlucky. 2 games at it. Obviously, that Lancs game, he wasn't supposed to be doing that. You find out at the innings break. Apparently, I wasn't there, but it was a bit of carnage in the dressing room. Who wants to open? A lot of hands going up. A bit unlucky not to. It's just a game, isn't it? Some of those, all you need is a drop catch, or a ball goes into the gap for 4 and you're still batting. So unlucky for Benny, because he's definitely got the ability to do it.
Hassan Ali comes in, bowls. That's cut forward of square. That's going to go for 4 runs. There's no fielder out there. Square of the wicket on the boundary. There's a short cover and a mid-off. So that was 4 runs well placed by Cox. 119 for 6.
Seems to me that on this pitch you've got to take advantage of any width you're offered, really, like that.
Yeah, and the width and the length, obviously, I think, like you said, when it's a bit too short, it sits up, and it's just it's that top of the stumps, keep the stumps in play, that all modes of dismissals, in play, and then try, I think that's what we'll do with the ball.
That was his first boundary conceded, Hassan Ali, at the start of his 3rd over. That one kept low, but Cox waited for it and clipped it away off his pads for a single out to deep mid-wicket. So Cox on to 13. Hassan Ali's figures 2 for 8 off 2.2 overs. The run rate at 7.35 and over. Yorkshire have won the last 2 between these two. I remember the last game of last season, Jonathan, where, what was it? It wasn't Revis, was it? Revis played a very good innings, but I can't remember who it was who scooped. They hit the last 2 balls for 6 to win it for Yorkshire. As Ali is in, low full toss, driven down the ground for a single.
My short-term memory is
Matt
gone
Milnes,
on things like that. Matt Milnes, yes. Yeah, what I do remember was when Jordan Tomo was bowling and Ben Mike whacked a 6. That was probably about 6 or 7 years ago, to win off the last ball, I think it was, of the match. It hit somewhere further along the stand here. Big 6 to win it.
Hassan Ali is in. 3 balls left of his 3rd over. 1-2-1 for 6. And Cox waits and cracks this for 4 as a chase on that the fielder's going to lose.
Great shot.
That one a little bit squarer than the previous shot. It was an almost identical one to the previous boundary. And yeah, great shot.
It was only 10 yards in front of deep cover there. He's absolutely creamed that. Cox has been in good touch, to be fair, what I've seen of him, and he's been batting in difficult positions when he comes out to bat. I suppose you do when you bat down the order, because people like me have failed at the top, so sorry Coxie, but he's batting well at the minute.
18 not out as Ali's in. Slower bouncer, which he pulls forward of square on the leg side. 102 runs in 5 innings for Cox. 51 not out, 34, now 19. He's also got scores of 8, 1 and 8. But he has had to do a rescue job on a few occasions as the former Worcestershire man.
And that's the tough thing, isn't it? I don't bat at the end, or with the tail, and you've got to be, I suppose, a bit open to the ways you bat. You can't just bat in the one way, the way you want to bat. You've got to see what the game demands at the time.
Ali coming round the wicket, and he's it's a body and come off to third man. I think that it must have hit the body. Either way, it went for a big slog to Travaskis, and a leg by is signalled. So 127 for 6. Just it was the angle that we're looking at it here in the commentary box. I wasn't sure what had happened because it beaten the bat. I could tell that. I was worried it had hit the stumps, which was my hesitation. 127 for 6 at the end of the over. There were 12 off that. 2 fours from Cox, who's 19 not out. Travaskis on 11, who will keep the strike. That run rate at 7.5. So 4 overs left, Sol. 160 still.
If you can get it above 8 for the run rate, I think, with 3 overs remaining.
Sorry.
If you can get it up to over 8, because that still requires a risk when you're batting with a few singles, but you just never know. You never know how Leicester's going to go out and bowl.
It was the first time for 7 overs that Leicestershire had made double figures in an over. AJ Ty is running down the hill from the Bennett end here to bowl to Travaskis. He's given that one the kitchen sink, and I think that was a so-called chance. Don't think that one bounced, did it? After my earlier,
I think that's hit him straight in the forearm. I don't think he had much time to react. They either stick or they don't, those ones. We saw that Anderson a few weeks ago here, the one Holland hit straight back at him. It's more just put a hand out, and if it sticks, it sticks.
Yeah. He gave it some welly, as we say up north. He's on to 12, Travaskis with a non-striking end, and Cox opens the face and runs it to backward point where Wharton fields. Ben Cox, I think I'm right in saying, on the winning Worcestershire side in the 2018 comp.
Yeah, he got. I think he got hit the winning runs. He might have. I think Dropper against Sussex in that game, played a few good scoops. He's good at them, and he's got a lot of experience. Coxie, he's a good friend of mine, to be fair, on and off the field.
Yes. Ty in short and takes his top hand off that, does Ben, as he pulls it round the corner for a single. Kev Sharpie, if you're listening, give us a thumbs up. He's often tuned in. Kevin Sharp back at Yorkshire working with the women's batters at the moment, but of course was head coach at Worcestershire at the time that they won that, and told me about difficult conversations they had to have with Ben in the build up to that. Don't think he played the week before or something like that. He'll set me straight, I'm sure, as Travaskis pulls that one out towards mid wicket, and Wharton fields 1 run.
And I think finals day is weird because it's not in the same in the same weeks as the group games. So teams don't have their overseas, and it's a bit, some lads might not play majority of the blast, and they come in for finals day for the biggest game probably of the year.
So he's got it for the big stage, and that's a lovely shot as well. Just chipped that really over the general area where Adam Lythe is fielding at short extra cover just inside the ring, and skipped on nicely for him for 4 runs.
Nice shot, opened the blade mid off, cover up, a bit of a free hit for Cox. He put his obviously he's trying to go wide hole here, Ty, with the field set, but now they're bringing out, what was it, deep cover, extra cover? No, he's just picking up the ball. It
looked like Adam Lythe was going to the boundary, didn't it?
It's funny because Cox is moving right across his stumps to the offside, isn't he? But Ty's following him.
Well, you got mid off and mid on up, so he's probably going to go wide hole or at the stumps or into the deck. There we go.
There you go, slow bouncer. Pulled, and Hassan fielding that round the corner at deep backward square. 1 run, so Cox 25, Travaskis 13. There are just 12 balls remaining in this Leicestershire innings, and they're 135 for 6, so 8 came from that over.
So 135 for 6, 2 overs left. Just appeared on the stream, Jonathan. They haven't. I don't think they've put us on the big screen today. You'll often turn up from the commentary box up on the big screen with everybody going, "Who on earth is that?" There we go.
Hey up.
They've just put us up on the big screen. 135 for 6. Cox 25 not out. He waits right-handed. And he pulls this round the corner. It's a great hit, that. And there's a chase on for the fielder who slips again in the outfield, but does really well to gather it at deep square leg. And it's 2 for Cox, 137 for 6.
Yeah, that's Ben Cliff out there, who's 12th as today. Not sure who's gone off, actually. I didn't notice anybody leave the field of play.
So 11 balls left. 150 seeming a reasonable target at the moment. Cox with a very wide open stance at the moment, waits and hits this down the ground. 2-3 bounces before it reaches long on. And Matthew, is it Revis?
Revis, yeah.
Revis, who fields, so just a single this time. 138 for 6.
Looks like it's Jaffa Char, or is he down at... No, he is on the field actually. He's just been brought in to short third man, so it must be AJ Tai who's not on the field at the moment.
In comes Hassan Ali. That's a big shot in the air from Travaskis, but there's a fielder out there at deep square leg who takes it. Right to take the aggressive option, Travaskis, and Will Luxton was there to gather the ball on the boundary rope. So Travaskis with a handy 13 from 14, but he has going for the big shot. So the score 138 for 7 now, but a decent little partnership there.
Kev Sharp is watching, listening. Afternoon, Sharpie, and he says, Ben Cox, he wasn't selected in the championship match the week before finals day, and he came back and he won the man of the match in both games at finals day. Great response.
Well, great bounce back ability from Coxie. I know his career, he's been in the game for a while, a lot of ups and downs as a professional cricketer, and to bounce back a week later to get both man of the matches in the probably 2 most important games for the club. Good on him. So I've really enjoyed Coxie when he signed at Leicester, what he brings, and he's still a quality keeper. And what he's done in the Champo this year, runs down the order, handy runs. And I think as a keeper you get a bit, if you're doing your job well, you go unnoticed a bit, you know. And it's probably a good spot to be as a keeper when people you only get commented if you drop or how many byes you let through. So Cox has been a great addition to the club, that's for sure.
So Hassan Ali bowls a great Yorker first up. Now what's he appealing for there? LBW. That was a strange set of circumstances there. You hit the ball back to Hassan Ali, but I thought he'd hit it, but it might have come off his toes. Holland is hurting at the moment, and then Ali remembered he could appeal for LBW, so did.
Yeah, you just
wonder. He might have hit it into his foot or vice versa, but it was a bit of chaotic there, appealing. Then Ian wanted a quick single.
Not out. It is Ian Holland who's the new man. Very, very handy batter, Ian Holland. Bats 3 in the county championship. As he comes in, there's the scoop. It's up in the air, but there's a fielder there who takes it. Short fine leg. It's Chauhan there, isn't it, who's caught that?
I think that's his option again. How many runs? That Lancs game he did at high pressure in the last over. You got fine leg third man up. Again, all you got to do is hit it past the 30-metre circle. He's gone to his strengths, and might have been a slower ball as well, I think. Lack of pace.
2 wickets in 3 balls for Yorkshire, so it is now 138 for 8, and Holland, who is a very, very good number 9, has to depart. The new man in, Josh Davey.
Ian Holland was the first man in a match involving Yorkshire that came in as a like-for-like concussion substitute when he was playing for Hampshire. We were down at Southampton. Lewis McManus got hit on the head by a Dwan Olifia bouncer, and Ian Holland came in and was out first ball.
Was he?
Like for like as well.
Yeah, well, that was well. I say like for like with the first. Exactly. Pretty much. Yeah.
So Hassan Ali's got 2 wickets and 3 balls here. This is final ball of his spell. Comes in and that's driven down the ground. 4 for 17, Hassan Ali's figures. And 139 for 8 is the score at the end of the 19th over. What a spell from Hassan Ali that is. And it's Ben Cox who holds the key towards the end of the innings, but I think Davies going to hold the strike at the start of the final over, with 150 still maybe the target, but that might be a little bit difficult.
It's looking that way. Just 4 off the over, and getting towards the back end. There was that 12 off the 17th, and you think, yeah, okay, stick another 3 12s on the board, and you've got a bit of something to work with. A bit like the up at Durham the other week, it's not a terrible score, is it? You're not being routed for 95.
No, I think they've bowled well. Obviously, a lot of good spinners for Yorkshire, and they've bowled really well, to be fair. We didn't really counter that in the middle when we were 2 down, but let's see how this last over gets on.
Yeah, Fahim bowling it from the Bennett end, and that's been played along the deck by Josh Davey to Matthew Revis at long on for a single. Yeah, I should have not bothered with the words like for like there, should I? I think actually it's probably incorrect terminology anyway. I think at the time you weren't sort of talking like for like, so it was just a substitute could come on if somebody got hit on the head.
Yeah.
And I think just happened to be in Holland.
Well, this year I think everyone's a bit confused with like for likes, and I don't really want to comment on it. I don't know really the proper rules on it.
Yeah. Fahim in again, that's wide and short, and he tries to pull it away into the leg side, Ben Cox, but misses out. Yeah, it's got a lot of people scratching heads, hasn't it? There was talk in the early stages that they might rethink it during this little window of T20s before we go back for the next 2 Champo games, but I've not heard any comment about it yet. I don't know if there's been anything circling.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure. I have no idea. Yeah, I didn't really know till a week before when they... And... it's just a bit confusing, I think.
Here is Fahim in again. That's pulled backward of square. Lovely shot. Got plenty on that, Ben Cox, and a despairing dive from Don Bess, who did get a hand to it but couldn't prevent it from reaching the boundary. So 144 for 8. Yorkshire, of course, benefited immediately, with Johnny Bairstow. Got hit on the end of the thumb on the very first day of the season. Yeah. Had to have changes as a result of that, then a couple of food poisoning in his shoes.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. I think if there's a break or a clear and obvious, but what's a clear and obvious now? Flu, and I think there's a few variables that can get.
Yeah, Fahim in. He's tried to scoop here as Ben Cox got in a little bit of a pickle, and he's managed to get a single off his leg.
I think it'll be a lot easier what they do in Shield cricket in Australia. I think they do it to the second day, up to the second day, and then the other team have an option to bring someone in. So it does balance it out, because I know there's been a few times where a team have bowled on the last day and bowlers coming in. But if there's an option of the other team, getting a batter in, obviously if someone is generally injured, obviously that's the line, isn't it?
Yeah. As that's drilled down the ground by Davey to Revis. 1 run.
Gets Cox on strike for the final ball.
Yeah, I spoke to the match ref down at Cardiff during that match when Johnny got injured, and he was showing me the sheet he'd completed with regard to Johnny's injury, and he was perfectly satisfied. When in fact, I think there was an X-ray anyway, so you could see what had gone on there. So
yeah, and I think there's neutral doctors or physios in Australia as well so there isn't a bias. But last ball of the innings.
Yep, Fahim to Cox, who's driven that one to AJ Tye just up inside the circle at mid-off, and so Davey 3, Cox 33, and Leicestershire have come up just short of the 150 mark. 147 for 8, as I say. It clearly feels like a chaseable score, very much so, but taking into account the pitch, They've had to work hard, Leicestershire, losing wickets in a couple of clumps, but they've put something on the board. If they start well with the ball here and get 2 or 3 power play wickets, then game on.
And I think that's the key. Obviously, would love to get 160 plus, but we've got 147 on the board, and I think now it's in our hands and how we bowl, and try squeeze them, try get some early wickets. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Obviously, it depends what the wicket's like, and it's probably not going to change much for their innings. So hopefully we get a few early ones.
So from 90 for 2, Leicestershire were to 147 for 8, but Ben Cox's 33 right at the end of the innings, all important there. That's taking Leicestershire to a defendable total. How to bowl?
Well, I think a lot of pace off, but not always pace off. Mix it up, keep the batsman guessing. I think top of the stumps. Try keep all modes of dismissals, and if we take our catches and get a few early ones, you just never know in this game. Funny things have happened. But I think this is like an old school T20. Yeah, when there runs on the board and you try squeeze team. So hopefully we get a few wickets.
So on the stream, on the Leicestershire stream, we'll be back very shortly as Yorkshire require 148 to win this game in the T20 Blast. So we'll hope for your company for that chase very shortly with me, Sol, and Jonathan Doidge. And in terms of Radio Leicester, Jack, 148 to win. They're walking out, Jack, but the Leicestershire, Yorkshire batters aren't out yet. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Thank you very much, Jack, for that. So, the target 148 to win this game for Leicestershire and get 3 wins in a row. For Yorkshire, it will be a 5th win in 6. This is the final game of the first batch of matches. With Leicestershire top of the group, Leicestershire second bottom. Johnny Bairstow and Adam Lythe are the opening pair, and Ashton Turner is the bowler for Leicestershire, bowling slow, and that is a slow first ball that's going to be hit for 4. Swept behind square on the leg side, and it races away to the boundary rope. Just back of a length from Turner. So the required run rate is 7.4 and over. That's the perfect start. Johnny Bairstow with the sweep for 4. No surprise they're starting with Turner, though. He opened on Friday night against Sussex, and we've spoken about the value of pace off. Here he is bowling a straight delivery on an off-stump line. Look at a dot ball there. He's a thin, wiry chap. High release point for his spin. Going at 6 and over with the ball on Friday night, and there's a clip off the legs, square of the wicket from Turner, as he bowls to Bairstow, who moves to 6 from 3. Bairstow's innings that won the Roses match on Friday night, wasn't it?
Yes, always good if you're broadcasting and turn your microphone on. Yes, played really well.
Turner in bowls on a middle and leg line, and that's glanced into the leg side, fielded by Travaskis at mid-wicket. There is no run. 73 of 44 balls for Bairstow. Former England man waits. Turner is in. Back goes Bairstow and crunches that for 4. It's a back foot push. It's going to run away. Actually, the fielder's chasing it. There's a big battle on, but it is the ball that wins the race. Big dive that comes in. And a 4 through the covers for Yorkshire, who have started off at a fast pace. Outside off stump, bit too short from Turner and punished. He moves on to 10. Yorkshire are 10 for no loss and need 138 to win. Turner bowling right arm over the wicket to the right-handed Bairstow. That's a slog down the ground from Bairstow. He's going to get 4 for that as well. 1-2 bounce 4. Straight down the ground. And that is an expensive opening over for Leicestershire, who are defending a relatively low total, and that's the worst possible start. 14 off the first over.
Isn't cricket a strange game? He made it look easy in that over, didn't he?
Yeah, I was actually surprised maybe Turner opened the bowl, and obviously got Lythe as a left-hander. I would have liked to see, big Alex Green steaming in down the hill. I think that would have just set the tone. But obviously, I'm not a captain. I never captained in a professional game. But you got Travaskis gone now. But what we saw from their innings, spin worked a treat, but wasn't. Mo bowled a few in the power play, and he bowled well. But yeah, double spin to start.
Yep, Liam Travaskis then. And that 14 equalled the highest score off any over in the Leicestershire innings at the very first attempt from Yorkshire, and that really does sort of break the back of it, doesn't it, straight away. 130 odd needed now. Travaskis then bowling round the wicket, off spin, and that's flicked away into the leg side by Adam Lythe for a single. Johnny's form in recent times, when he got 83 not out at Trent Bridge in the first match, made 8 at Headingley against Derbyshire, 43 in the win against Durham, and along with James Wharton was instrumental in that success from a batting point of view. Just the 4 against Gloucestershire, and then 73 on Friday night against the old enemy, the Red Rose. So 15 without loss, and he's back on strike here. And he's just dropping this one into the pitch, thinking about one. But Cox is quickly round from the back of the stumps. Good afternoon to Lily, who's sent us a couple of emails in. Not easy to get your emails out on air in T20 matches. It's so quick, but thanks for your contact. And also to Mel Wiles, who would ordinarily have been here, is watching on the stream. And that one has been dropped a little bit too short, really, hasn't it? And Johnny's scooped it away reverse style for 4.
Yeah, nice shot. I think, yeah, slightly short, but like it's a nice shot. You got the field set there, and obviously Johnny's a good enough player to do that. So hopefully Liam's got 2 more halfway through the over. Try get a pole here, or maybe a couple dots to try win the over.
19 without loss. 3 to come in the over. Another reverse attempt by Bairstow. There's an appeal on bended knee by Liam Travaskis, imploring the umpire to raise his finger, but that is not out. I don't know if we've mentioned our 2 umps for today, but Paul Baldwin and Simon Widdop are they. And Bairstow pulling this one quite firmly, timed it well. Patel has not been able to stop it cleanly at square leg, which is not going to help, and they've got 2 from that rather than the dot that it probably should have been. It's looking like it's Paul Baldwin who's standing at the Bennett end, yeah, and Simon Widdop, who's a Yorkie of course, is at point rather than square leg here. Travaskis in again. Bairstow works it off his legs, but not this time past Patel, completing the over at 21 without loss, so 7
off it.
Yeah, off that second over.
I think he's done well to win the. I still think he won the over there. I think the third ball goes for 4, first one goes for 1. You know, if they 7 and over, they just need a pole. That's what Leicester need. And who's bowling now? Josh Davey.
1-2-7 to win for Yorkshire to win this game. And yes, Davey to bowl 1 for 42 against Sussex. He's going at 9.4 and over. He's getting a wicket every 18 runs conceded. So the field at the moment in the 3rd over, we've got a deep, it's more of a fine leg actually, square fine leg. There's a lot of fielders behind square here as Davey runs in, bowls, and that gets a bit of outswing away from the left-handed Lythe, off the seam away from him, and he defends it out into the offside. We've got a short third man and short fine leg, and then we've got deep backward square leg. I guess you would call that a deep backward point, but it's a bit too fine for that. Going short?
Well, it's a split field. Keep both sides of the bat, or, you know, of the dismissals wise. As a bat, you don't really know how you're going to try and get them out.
Davey in down the leg side, a little bit wide.
I don't prefer split fields when I go out to bat. You're kind of not sure. When there's 2 out on the leg, you kind of know where the bowler's going to bowl. Keep the batter a bit honest. But yeah, I wouldn't mind a slip in here, or, you know, just try create something, because I think if you're going to let these class batsmen that have played a lot of T20 cricket, let them cruise, just make it a bit uncomfortable for them.
So 1-2-6 to win in pursuit of 148. Yorkshire Lythe waits with Davey bowling right arm over the wicket. He comes in, that moves back into him. There's quite a bit of swing off the seam, and Lythe just flicks it to Rahan Ahmed at deep backward square leg. Travaskis, now Green, throw the ball to each other round the ground. This very white sky today. Blanket coverage, not a hint of blue poking through, but it's calm and mild in the centre of Leicester. As Davey, Leicestershire in their dark green tops and black trousers. Did you call it Oxford Blue, Yorkshire are in?
Officially, Yorkshire colours are Oxford Blue, Cambridge Blue and Gold.
As Davey is in. Bowls down the leg side again, this time to the right-handed Bairstow. And that is the Oxford Blue, is it?
Yeah, the dark blue is Oxford Blue. If you ever watched a boat race, Adam, have you ever commentated on a boat race?
I've never commented. I have watched the boat race.
If you did, you'd probably have been sacked, wouldn't you, if you didn't realise that Oxford were in the... You've got one job, Adam.
Yes,
Oxford are in the dark blue. Cambridge are in the light blue. Right, next. What's your next sport?
Davey runs away from us now to the wicket, bowls a straight delivery, and it's sort of comes off the inside edge of Bairstow and he gets a single. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I would have known that had you not told me.
Really?
That Oxford in the darker blue. No, I wouldn't have known that. I don't think.
I think Oxford Blue, Cambridge Blue and Gold, presumably. We're just a scholarly county, I think that the old cable sweaters that they used to play in whites. I did always think that it was a thing of beauty. The Oxford Blue, Cambridge Blue and Gold on the sweater.
In comes Davey, bowls a full length delivery that's guided behind square on the leg side. A short fine leg. It is spilt. There.
To such things, those of us born in the broad acres aspire, and most of us never achieve.
1-2-2 to win, 26 for no loss. I had a friend who lived. Where does the boat race finish?
Not in Yorkshire. Not unless their arms will be aching.
Which bridge is it? Is it Putney Bridge?
Putney to Mortlake, isn't it?
Mortlake, that's it. As Davey bowls, and is there a thin inside edge? Leicestershire is celebrating. Bairstow is unmoved, as is the umpire's finger. So it's a dot ball. Leicestershire look very confused by that. And it is Bairstow who remains. Looked very confident there.
Well, that could get Johnny ticking now. You thought I was... Are you dead to think I was out when I wasn't out? Right, son, take this.
Yeah, my friend lived in Mortlake, so I watched the finish. That's my claim to fame of the boat race.
Okay.
Davey, Scotland international. Bowling to Bairstow, 21 not out from 13. Runs away from us now. Drags this into the pitch, does Davey, and it's turned delicately by Bairstow round the corner. And he'll pick up a single, so that's 1-2-1 to win. 6 off the third over, 27 for no loss. Yorkshire are in pursuit of 148. That felt like a rather sedate over in the end. After the crash bang wallop of the first.
Early thoughts, Solomon. It feels like Johnny's quite quickly picked up the pace of what's going on out there.
Yeah, I think he's a good player of spin as well. But Liam, I still think Johnny will try to take him down here, but I think there'll be some opportunities maybe. You never know. But yeah, a bang bang, that's what Leicester need right now. Yeah. 2 wickets in and over.
So here is Travaskis, and Bairstow has flicked this one off his legs, and that's 4. Just one bounce, lofted it away over short fine leg. Lovely shot, just a beautiful pickup really.
It's a nice line for him to do that with that field. Kind of stepped across a little bit. But.
So he's got going here. Travaskis into him again. He tries something similar. There's an appeal from somebody there, but not out, says umpire Baldwin. Adam Lyth, meanwhile, is watching all this at the other end. He's only faced 4 deliveries so far, and we're into over number 4 now. Here's Travaskis. Reverse sweep by Johnny. He's absolutely timed the backside off that. Split the gap between 2 men who were up inside the circle in that general area, and that's raced away for 4 more.
Yeah, catchable height, but like you said, straight in the gap. Bit of luck for Leicester if that goes to hand, but he hit it well. He'd be a bit unlucky to get out like that.
So he's quickly on to 30 from 17. Lyth, as I say, 3 off 4. Adam Lyth's card so far: 4 at Trent Bridge, 31 at Headingley against Derbyshire, 2 against Durham up at Chester Street, 97 of course against Gloucestershire, just short of a what would have been a second T20 ton, and then 20 off 7 balls against Lancashire on Friday night. But Travaskis is going for more runs here. Third boundary, Bairstow almost flat batting that really down through long off, and again just a 1 bounce I think it was for.
Yeah, he looks like he's got a pace at the minute, Johnny. But again, if you get Johnny here, like you said, life 3 or 4, you get 2 new batters really in, you never know.
39 without loss. Travaskis, he goes reverse again this time. That's nearly to hand, but not quite, and it's a 4th 4 just beyond the diving Johnny Tattersall, who would have loved to have snaffled that one against his old mate. Still, we're going in this 4th over. 4 boundaries. Well, you nailed that one, Sol, because you said Johnny will try and take him down in this over. 16 off it.
Yeah, again, I think it's been quite convincing for these boundaries, but like you said, those 2 reverse sweeps, one nearly got caught then and the other one could have gone straight to him. It's head high in the ring, but you take the risks.
Travaskis in again, and Bairstow just nudges this one into the leg side and keeps the strike. Adam Lythe's got the best view of this knock. 39 off 20 for Johnny. He's got 39 out of 44 runs scored in the first 4 overs.
104 to win, and Yorkshire going at 11 and over. That run rate's dropped down to 6.5 already.
And that the biggest over of the match. 17 runs, all off the bat of Johnny Bairstow.
Yeah, and I think this is good from Leicester's point of view. Ian Holland onto bowl. I think this is probably suited to him. I think Johnny's going to play one way here. Yeah, he's 39 off 20, so hopefully he just hits one up. But for a Leicester point of view, but he's hit them quite well.
Live T20 blast cricket between Leicestershire and Yorkshire. Here comes Ian Holland, and that's pulled in the air court. And Bairstow has to go. That hit the toe end of the bat, and a diving, tumbling stop by fine leg. Is that Josh Davey there, isn't it?
Josh Davey, yes.
Fielding. And he takes the catch. So a in-form and swashbuckling Bairstow has to depart for 39, and Leicester should get the breakthrough that they were desperately seeking. 44 for 1 is the score, and 104 needed to win.
Yeah, I think, and Ben Green to put Ian Holland on, it's probably a wise move because he's got so many different deliveries. He's got a lot of variations, very experienced, Dutch he is, so 1 ball, 1 wicket. So that's hopefully we get another one this over, and you never know.
Yeah, it caused the Yorkies a lot of problems in T20s in the past, and in fact in the Champo game here a couple of seasons ago as well. He was nipping it around for a living. Will Luxton has come in at 3, so another right-hand, left-hand combi. The right-hander being Will. Leicestershire, well, happy to have broken that early partnership, but Yorkshire's done an invaluable, Johnny's done an invaluable job for Yorkshire there, getting him off to a flyer in a relatively low chase.
Yeah. He's broke the back, really, of that. But still a lot of cricket.
Luxton, the new man in, and Holland to bowl his second delivery. He comes in, bowls a beauty outside off stump, and Luxton
Get a slip in.
dangled the bat at that. Perhaps just shaped away from him a tad. Suddenly Leicestershire right back in it.
Get a slip in, Greenie. I think if you can get another pole there, you just never know. Squeeze the field, set aggressive fields, you just never know.
44 for 1. Holland moves away from us. He bowls. That's a beautiful drive straight at cover. It's a textbook cover drive from Luxton, but there is no benefit to him from it. Holland is going at 7.3 and over from the 3 matches he's played so far. He's been one of the pick of the bowlers. He's just a sort of... It's a very wily player, isn't he, Ian Holland, as he bowls from the pavilion end, and there's another cover drive, and this one is stopped again by Patel, diving well from cover point and diving on top of the ball.
He's got a lovely languid style, Will Luxton. I was having a chat with him down on the pitch before the game. He's just so laid back, he's, you know, horizontal sort of thing. Talking about the comp so far as it's gone for him. He's He's got 5, 5, 1, 20 and 34, so he's improving with his figures.
Lyth goes for the big hit. That's high up in the air. Rehan Ahmed is there at deep backward square leg and takes it in the most casual manner that you will see all day. Lyth has to go. Strange innings for him, really. He's been just at the other end for most of it, and his first big shot, he has been dismissed for 3, and that is 2 wickets in quick succession for Leicestershire. They may feel they are back in this T20 match. Yorkshire are 45 for 2, and they require 103 to win.
You just never know. I think, like we said there, 2 wickets and an over. Now you've got 2 new lads are in. Feel like Luxon will play one way. He'll play his shots. He's easy on the eye when he's going well. You know, he scored a few runs the other night in the Roses clash. He has a nice swing of the blade, but you just never know. Keep taking wickets as a Leicester fan, and yeah.
2 wickets in the over. It's Luxton Wharton.
Yeah, James Wharton's had a good start to the competition and really looked, like he's gone up a notch in terms of the maturity stakes in this format this year. He has had a ton in the past and he's played some good knocks in the past, but sort of taking the innings by the scruff of the neck like he did at Durham the other week was another notch for him.
Holland, final ball of the over, straight delivery on leg stump, and there is no run. So 2 wickets in the over and 1 run off it. Leicestershire may feel they're back in this a tad. The run rate's still 9 and over. Yorkshire, they need to be going at 7, so they're well ahead of the rate. They're well ahead of the Duckworth-Lewis par as well, which is 37, and so the score is 45 for 2 off 5 overs.
And so when I say he took a game, James Wharton took it by the scruff of the neck. He got a ton. You can't take that away from anybody. Good pitches at Headingley, but that was a tricky pitch at Chesterley Street, and he showed what I'm trying to say is maturity. Top scorer with 64, which was well worth a ton really on the night, if you like.
And has he been batting for majority? And it's a tough place to bat in T20 cricket for a young lad to, like you said, show that maturity this year in a difficult position to bat number 4, because if you look at our middle order, we've got the overseas and it's quite a hard place to bat. So for a young lad, so it's very good. So
Luxton, dear me, that really did kick off the pitch. Who have we got here? Ben Green, of course.
It's Alex Green,
Sorry, Alex Green. I've written down Ben on my team sheet. Apologies.
Can bowl quick.
Yeah.
I faced him in the winter in the indoor school, which was not very pleasant on the AstroTurf in the indoor school. It was bouncing over my head a few times.
It really kicked off the pitch, did that? And Luxton was drawn in. So 45 for 2. Here's Green again. That's a little bit fuller, and he just plays a typical Luxton shot, lays his bat on it, a bit like the man who's fielding it, Johnny Tattersall, would do. And they've got through for a very comfortable 3.
He's a giant, isn't he, Alex Green? Particularly for someone his age. I remember interviewing after he got 5 wickets in a one-day game at Guildford last season. He's got the frame of a bloke in his early 30s, really, hasn't he?
Yeah, he debuted at Scarborough, didn't he? On that, it's got a good carry, that Scarborough wicket, and I was fielding at point and thinking the first time I actually seen him bowl, and I thought, wow, this kid's got something about him, because a lot of the balls were going over the batsman's shoulders. It was good fun at point being there, not batting.
Just actually chatting to Harrison Allen, Yorkshire's analyst, before the game today. I said, because normally he'll text me with bits of info that I can talk about on air. So you've been a bit quiet this year, and he said, I've got some Scarborough stuff for you, which he's told me because Yorkshire are playing against Warwickshire there next week. And against Leicestershire later on, so I better not reveal the info that he told me just at this stage. Wouldn't want to give opponents any.
Tattersall's going off here, I think. He's walking off the field. They've just swapped with Ben Mike.
I just saw them make a substitute sign, Ben Cox, and Johnny Tattersall, he must have just, when he was running after that, must have pulled something.
Oh, no, not another injury for the Foxes.
He's sat out a while, hasn't he, Johnny, since he's been here? Yeah.
He's had a wrist operation,
yes,
I believe, in the winter.
Was there a knee?
He had quite a big operation on his wrist in the winter.
Yeah, I remember him telling me about that. Here's Green, and that flicked to leg by James Wharton.
He was chasing off that ball, so maybe he's pulled up a bit lane.
Yeah.
Hopefully not for Johnny, and for the club. Obviously, we've been through the ringer this year with the injuries, so hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Yeah, 48 for 2. James Wharton's gone 55, 5, 64, 1 and 35 not out on Friday in the comp so far. He's yet to get off the mark here and won't do with this delivery, which he's just punched to Ian Holland in the offside.
It's a big wicket then, this one.
Yeah, he's genuinely been playing well. He was struggling for runs a bit in the first block of championship games, but did manage an odd score. But it looked like he's really enjoyed this so far, but it still shows you if you're playing well, the inconsistency in the scores there, a bit like the other ones I've read out previously. It's so hard to get runs and back up, isn't it, in T20 cricket. Here's Green again, it's wide of off stump, and Wharton has a bit of a bended knee waft at this no run.
I do believe there's no form in T20 cricket. I believe it's a lot of confidence. It's a confidence thing. I don't think because you can get into form, but I don't think the games come so fast. You've got to be up ready to play, and even if you don't get any runs as a batter, I still have belief the next game you're going to go out and smack them.
Yeah. Still 48 for 2. Green to Wharton, who's gone back foot and just dropped this into the pitch at the side of him. So another good over to back up that from Ian Holland by Alex Green. Just 3 runs coming from it. 48 for 2 at the end of the power play compares to 46 for 2 Leicestershire.
One scoring shot off that over, 3 runs off it, and they all came off one ball. So it is still 100 to win for Yorkshire, but I think what's key is that you back up the good overs, and they've done that now.
Yeah, and obviously they opened the bowl with Ashton, and it has worked the last few games. You quickly get an over out from him, not to go for many runs like last game. Sussex, 2 lefties are in. I think he went for 2 that first over. Yep, 2 or 3. But great comeback from the boys.
2 for 1 Holland's figures at the moment. In he comes now to bowl to Luxton, who hits him high up in the air. There's no fielder at deep mid wicket, and it's 6. Lands just over the ropes. That was a beautiful shot, just timed that, wasn't it? Beautiful arc of the blade over towards the leg side, and there's 6. They're 50 up for Yorkshire, and they're 54 for 2.
Yeah, lovely swing. Obviously mid wicket's up. Bit of a free swing for him. Doesn't have to try overhit it with the field setting. But I understand why mid wicket's in, trying to get a dot ball early. But yeah, a pretty nice cricket shot.
So Luxton is on 10, 94 to win. Holland in, bowls, handsome drive to cover, but it wasn't timed overly well. Travaskis fields, there is no run.
Just his 25th T20 match, Will Luxton played a beauty of a knock. When Johnny Bairstow got 100 in the Roses match at Old Trafford last year, Will got 90 not out that night. 350s against his name, and averages just under 20.
Holland, short brown hair, runs in, bowls full outside off stump, and is cream for 4 through extra cover. Lovely shot.
Stand and deliver.
Yeah, he's obviously got good hand-eye coordination, and his strike rate in T20 cricket, what is it, 148? Like, yeah, he obviously plays in that manner, and and I think another key wicket here, another bang bang. You just never know.
Holland, 10 off the over already, is in, bowls, and that's gorgeously driven again. This time a bit straighter. You could see the Makers logo on the bat. That's Ben Green fielded at mid-off. 58 for 2.
Your eyesight's better than mine.
These big thick glasses, Jonathan. 22 on his back. Holland in, bowls. Again gorgeous to cover drive. He's tossing it up outside off stump, and Luxton is...
He's timing it well, isn't he?
Timing it beautifully and playing textbook cricket shots. He's not got a huge amount of protection out there, Holland, for that delivery. Full outside off stump. He's got Rahan Ahmed at deep cover point. They're bringing in fine leg. and then they've got 3 men in the deep on the leg side. So is he going to go straight now? Yes, he is, on a middle stump line. So down the pitch goes Luxton and drives him to long on. That is the end of the over. There were 11 runs off that, the 7th. And so the score is 58 for 2, 90 to win for Yorkshire. And they've got 13 overs in which to do it, so they need to go at 6.8 and over.
Yep, so they've given themselves, just by kicking on again there, a good, better than decent chance of getting there, haven't they, here? Luxton's retained the strike. He did get 1 ton in the 50 over comp a couple of seasons back at rugby school against Warwickshire, where he finished the match with a couple of sixes through mid-wicket, just lifted him beautifully. And that obviously gave him a lot of confidence. And then, as I mentioned, when you know you can do that in senior cricket for the first time, Saul, you've proved to yourself as well as everybody else that you can do it. It must be a great shift in your sort of confidence, your mental state, as Rehan Ahmed is on at the Bennett end, and it's a single from Luxton up to long on first ball. Yeah,
and I think personally it's more fun doing that as well, when you can hit the ball out the park. And yeah, for him, obviously still very young in his career.
Yeah, 23 years of age. And speaking of 23s, James Wharton has just stroked one up to long off for 1. So to get your first ton is a big tick, whatever format it is. You just done it. You're a professional player. You've got your first 100 in senior cricket. As here is the man, Luxton, cutting this one wide of short third man. That will be racing away for 4 more. Just a bit too much width from Rehan with that delivery. But then to go to Old Trafford, I know he didn't get 100 out, 90 not out, sharing in a massive stand with Johnny Bairstow. Big crowd, big game. It's a different feeling again, isn't it? You've done it on the big stage then as well.
Yeah, and I haven't scored 100 in T20. I think it's quite rare as a batsman to score 100 in a T20. So
yeah, he's tried to cut this from too close to his off stump. Really, he's got away with it with a little jab into the ground that's gone through where first slip would have been for a single.
Quicker, flatter one that, I think, wasn't it, from Ahmed?
But he's still there, Will. 21 off 14. And James Wharton back on strike and punching this one into the offside. Penultimate ball of the over.
Been away with the Delhi Capitals and England Lions. Didn't play for them over in the IPL.
Yeah, he's a talent. Here he is again. Ooh, wrong un. And James Wharton with a pretty good lead. 66 for 2 then at the end of the 8th. So 7 coming from that.
So 82 to win for Yorkshire, with Luxton on 21, Wharton on 1, going at quite a sedate pace at the moment, with a good boundary off Rehan Ahmed. Yeah, it's a funny one for Leicester. They've missed him, haven't they? Both with bat and ball. You've got to go to the IPL. Nobody's going to blame him for that, are they? But it's a shame that he didn't play.
Yeah, and I know he's a bit gutted not playing, but the experience he's getting there training with some of those players, and ideally he would be back here playing cricket, but you can't blame him for going, because I think that's a lot of people's dreams, just to go train with some of these players, some of these superstars in India, and how they go about it. And I think he comes back a better cricketer for it.
Ben Green is going to bowl from the pavilion end, the 9th over, with Yorkshire 66 for 2. Luxton waits 21 not out and drives this off the back foot to mid-wicket, where it's Ben Mike, the substitute fielder, who collects the ball. Bit of wind out there. I can see the trees around the ground swaying. It's a healthy crowd in today. It's quite funny, the hospitality tent is mixed in with where the Yorkshire team are sat, as Ben Green comes in, bowls on a leg stump line, and that's clipped off the pads out to deep mid-wicket. It'll just be a single, so 81 to win. Deck chairs on the far side of the field, in with the Yorkshire team sat there, and then behind them plenty of the Red Trouser Brigade. Few pints of beers on a Sunday afternoon. Ben Green, mustachioed and mulleted, runs away from us now. he bowls, and on a middle stump line, Wharton goes back and flicks it away. That's the 9th ball he's faced. He moves on to 2. He's struggled a little bit to get off, get up and running.
Yeah, he's having a look in it really. He's got time, hasn't he, to be able to do that in this knock.
And especially with Luxton going at a good rate, you just give him the strike, I suppose. You know, he's striking them well. He doesn't have to take a risk at the minute.
Green comes in, bowls, and that's on a leg stump line. And Mike Fields at deep mid wicket. I think he took the pace off that a little bit. I was wondering where the Barmy Army trumpeter had gone, but he has returned. Surely he'd be at Lord's today, unless he didn't think he was going to see much cricket, which he wouldn't have done. They've signed some sort of partnership or deal with the Barmy Army this week, Leicestershire. That's why he's here. So Green comes in. That's pulled around the corner, up in the air. There's a fielder out there. It's over his head. And goes for 4. So the ball did land in field. And so that tells you that the man at fine leg was probably 5 metres or so in field. And had he been on the boundary rope, he would have been able to take it.
Just kept going away from him, didn't it?
Josh Davey.
Yeah.
6 off the over.
Quite a big boundary. Going to be fielding 5 or 10 in to stop the 2. And it just kept going. It was into the wind as well. You thought it'd hold up a bit more than it did.
72 for 2, 76 to win. Mike moves back into a more orthodox mid-wicket position. Green in, driven by Luxton to cover. Travaskis Fields. That's the end of the over. So 6 runs off it. Leicestershire is still keeping it relatively tight. So after 9 overs, they're nearly halfway. Yorkshire 76 they need to win. 2 wickets have fallen. So Yorkshire's still well in control of this game with those wickets in hand.
Yep, just need to, well, for my 2 penneth, knock it around and put the bad ball away, and you're home, aren't you, really?
Yeah, and obviously if that was a wicket there, that would have not been a bit panic for Yorkshire, but it wouldn't have been ideal because you just never know. New batsman in, got to get himself in on this wicket. You just never know, but he's gotten away with it. Got the 4.
A different shade of green here. Alex, and he's bowled him. Wharton's gone right across outside off stump. He's had a look and he's chewed up 10 balls there in getting 2, but he's had his middle and leg stumps rearranged, and Yorkshire have lost a third. 72 for 3.
That was the pace, I think, wasn't it, there from Green? That looked a bit of swing too, moving in.
I think Wharton's good at that shot as well. Didn't play that a lot. And yeah, maybe a bit of swing in, bit of nip on the wicket, but yeah, I like Alex Green bowling here down the hill. He bowls at a good pace, so any mistake from a batter is probably going to favour the bowler more.
It's part of the England under-19 team that got to the World Cup final over the winter, wasn't he? They got Suryavanshi, didn't he? And didn't they? That was the famous innings where he got about 170 off about 80 balls, wasn't it? He's a very, very good cricketer. Alfonso Thomas has tipped him for England in the future. And who's this young chap? Moeen Ali, who's come in at number 5. Any good?
Well, he got a duck on Friday, so I'm not sure really. We've not seen enough of him over the years. Yeah, 38 years of age. World Cup winner, stacks of experience. And here's Alex Green bowling at him, and he does have a little bit of a waft at the first delivery, which is wide in the opinion of Paul Bolden. It looked a bit harsh, did that?
Was it on height?
No, definitely not on height. It was.
Well, that's I
thought it was right. Tough game as a bowler.
Yeah, Moeen with no foot movement. He just tried to crash it away through the offside. So 73 for 3 with the addition of that extra. Here's Green again. That's a better delivery, tighter, and again Moeen a swish and a miss to one just wide of off stump.
I wouldn't mind a slip in here. I think Mo's going to go. He's so good on the offside. It's his strength, but early on you just never know. I think you can get a slip in somehow. If you're going to bowl outside off, get a mid wicket in. Try create a bit of pressure, get get a nick off. Like, you just never know if he's going to bowl this line, that is.
Alex Green then running towards us, bowls it now, this time wide of off stump, and he's been wided again.
That was a little less harsh, I think.
So Moeen is having a swish at a couple, having a look at a couple. The score has gone up again, 74 for 2, so just those 2 wides off the over so far. Green in again. Moeen with that high backlift, goes through the trigger movement and then leaves another delivery just wide of off stump. So he's persisting with that ball slanted across the left-hander.
Just the 2 wides from the over so far. Well, I suppose we've had 3 legal deliveries.
Yeah. So still 3 to score off, or 3 to take wickets from. 74 for 3. Target 148, remember, at the outset, and that's wide again. That's looks probably the most wide of the trio.
Yeah, I can see what he's trying to do here, Alex. I think if you play and misses early doors, maybe he's trying to push it a bit too wide, but yeah, is that the 3rd wide?
It is, yeah.
Every little helps. 75 for 3. Here's Green again. Longest over of the match, and that's punched away into the offside. Moeen has got going with a single that is going to turn into a 2. Rehan Ahmed doing the fielding. 77 for 3. Moeen, well, so much experience. In fact, I've gone back to this often, but in my trial match for doing this job, he got 209 wickets when Worcestershire wiped the floor with Yorkshire at Scarborough in a 4-day match back in 2018. So I saw the best of him then as he scampers down, dropping this single into the offside. Ben Mike coming in to do the fielding. 78 for 3. 3 years ago Ben played a season for Yorkshire, probably about 2023, I would think.
Yeah, it was. We've turned in 24. Yeah.
Luxton back on strike then. He's had a little look at Moeen from the other end. What can he do himself? Here's Alex Green bowling on his legs. He's flicked away. Not got bat on that. Off the thigh pad, I think it was, or top of the pad flap for a leg bye. Down beneath us. So end of strange over really with the wides involved. No boundaries. But they still went from 72 for 2 to 79 for 3.
So 69 to win for Yorkshire. And you're right, there was a very strange over. Wicket wide, dot, wide, 2-1, leg bye. So Alex,
It's his 2nd game as well, isn't it, Alex? Young lad. I saw what he was trying to do there early, trying to maybe nick off Mo or get the outside edge, but maybe tried a bit too hard.
Davey to bowl his 2nd over from the pavilion end. Scratches his boots into the turf to mark his run up. And bowls to Luxton, 26 off 20. May well hold the key. And he defends the first ball. There's been plenty of dots lately.
Sharp is messaged in again vis-a-vis the Moeen performance at Scarborough, saying I was Worcester coach that day as well.
Run rate really has slowed. 11 runs from the 7th, and then there's been 7, 6 and 7. That's all that Yorkshire really need to go at though at the moment. Here's Davey moving in away from us. Back punch from Luxton, and was jumped in the air as he did so, and there is no run. Cover fields. It's really only Bairstow who's found some proper rhythm on this pitch. Kelly as well, you would say, from the Leicestershire batting lineup. And as I said, I watched the women's game earlier on in the day, and nobody could really get going on that pitch. In that game either. With the same pitch, it has clearly caused a few issues. It's sticky and slow. Can it be Luxton who finds some form here? Davey on the leg side. Well, that's found the boundary, no problem. 6 runs, and that's gone about 8 rows back. Picked up off the leg side, and just timed, really. Just put his arms through it. Not a huge amount of brute force, timed in the air, and 6 over square leg.
And that's the margins we talk about this game. You know, it's still a difficult wicket to bat on, and you get it slightly short. You miss your spot by a couple of inches, and it sits up a bit more and goes out the park. But if he's a few inches fuller, it's probably a dot ball. So it's a tough game being a bowler. I do feel for him sometimes.
Yeah, just a tad too straight. Now the ball has been damaged by the looks of things. The nuclear code briefcase has been brought out. Very severe briefcase, that. Looks like it could survive a bomb explosion, doesn't it?
Yeah. It's almost one of those that you'd expect in a Bond film where the hitman takes out the pistol and starts to screw on the silencer and that sort of thing.
Yeah, it's black with the silver trimmings, so one of the umpires has gone and just got another ball out of the briefcase. It may have gone. There's a road that runs along the back of that stand before the indoor net. I wonder if it hit that and damaged it. So 32 for Luxton, 85 for 3 for Yorkshire. So they need 63 to win off 57 balls, and they've got 7 wickets in hand. Took quite a while, all of that. So the field is changing after that. So Green is coming, Ben Green is moving to long off. Fine, third man is coming up, and the umpire has stopped proceedings. Oh, we've got another ball problem, have we? He's looking at it. Have they got it back?
Yeah, and they've got the original back.
So I thought it had been damaged, but they lost it. We're carrying on with the original one. Right, so we're carrying on with the original ball now. That was all very strange. What a sport. 85 for 3 to score, and Davey is going to run in past the umpire, and it's a similar line but a fuller length from Luxton on leg stump. It's guided into the leg side for a single, so 62 to win. And Ali 3 from 4 now on strike. It's turned into a relatively pleasant afternoon in Leicester. I was worried it might rain at some stage. I think it's going to rain tonight, but we should see the end of the game before that. It's becoming a bit bright. Another change in the field for the left-handed Ali. You've got Tell moving into mid-wicket.
Got a couple of Champo games coming up. Adam, who are they against?
Yes,
These next 2 matches?
They are against Essex next week.
Here?
Here. Both are at home.
Okay.
They play most of those first 6 away. I think 4 of the 6 were away, weren't they, Sol? As Davey comes in and Ali defends. So they've got Essex at home here, and then
Yorkshire.
Yes. Come here for 4 days.
Yeah, of course. Because I was programmed into the Scarborough in August thing, I'd forgotten the fact that we're coming back here a week on on Friday.
Essex will be an interesting one, because I mean, Essex was a bizarre game for Leicestershire in the county championship. They took, what was it, a 40-run lead into the first innings, and then were bowled out for 60. Davey moves away from us. This is the last ball of his second over, and it's turned either hit into the pad or straight off the pad. The umpire is readying his leg by signal, so it was just the pad. Squirted away on the leg side. So that is the end of the over. 87 for 3 is the score. We had 8 off the over, and we're on the big screen again. Look at that. A whole stadium goes, who are they?
Alex Green at the Bennett end of the ground then. I suggested, 2 or 3 overs ago, Yorkshire just knock it around and pick up the boundaries and they'll get home. And of course they immediately lost a wicket the next ball when James Wharton was out. See if they have better fortunes in this over. Well, Moeen Ali just helping that one on its way to Ben Mike at short third man. Moeen with a half century against Derbyshire the other week at Headingley. So
it's Warwickshire at Scarborough, and then who's the second game?
I can't remember anymore. Well, I've got Royal Ascot in between.
Of course.
Short ball here, and that's worked up to mid-on. And Davey does the fielding, no run. So yeah, I've got like 11 nights on the road. I feel like
crikey,
one of these lads on tour.
We've got the Prem semi-finals as well in the Rugby Union for Leicester. Northampton Saints on Friday night, East Midlands Derby for the semi-final.
They lost yesterday, didn't they?
They did.
I watched it.
Yeah. And then maybe the final the following week
against Bath.
Here's Green to Moeen, who's got a top edge on this one with another slash outside off stump, and it travelled very quickly down beneath our commentary position for 4. It probably goes over the head of a slip if you have one in anyway.
Yeah, yeah,
right
definitely.
Underneath it.
Probably need a fly slip for that. He's going hard. But no, it's a good pace from Alex Green. Trying to make something happen. That's what I like. Quite easy to go through the motions. If you can go try change the game. He set some aggressive fields here as well. A lot of fielders up. So hopefully you can get another one.
Yeah, wickets desperately needed by the Foxes, and here's Green trying to take one, a big one as well. And Moeen again, no foot movement. That's been a feature so far of this knock, as he's had another swish at one wide of off stump and misses. So you've got 4 nights in Scarborough for the visit of Warwickshire. If that lasts until the 4th day, I'll straight down to Royal Ascot.
Lovely Berkshire.
Working down there, and then missing the first day of the match down here, but back for days 2, 3 and 4 on the way back up north, as that is wide of off stump again, and this time passes Moeen's inside edge on its way through to the gloves of Ben Cox.
I used to work Royal Ascot because I used to work for Radio Berkshire.
No,
that was
did
my
you?
job before this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do the Royals still come?
Yeah.
Because the Queen was there every day, wasn't she? Because she loved it so much.
Yeah, the Royal Procession. Moeen on 7 from 11. 91 for 3. Alex Green bowls are wide again. Well wide as well. Cox has a bit of an issue taking that clean as it bounced short of him, and it looks like it's hit him in the chest.
It's difficult to get. There's such a fine margin for error bowling this line, isn't there, with the angle across the left-hander. And
I know he's bowled a few wides, but his figures at the minute, if you can get a dot or a 1 this ball, you still take the wides with his figures.
Yeah, now then, nice punch into the offside square. Ahmed does the fielding. Moeen picks up a single, keeps the strike. He's 8. Luxton 33. Not seen much of it for an over a 2. 93 for 3, so 6 runs coming from it.
Yeah, off legal deliveries, he is 1 for 11 off 3.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing. Wide's the extra ball sometimes, isn't it? But he's bowled well in those extra balls. They've come dot balls, or it hasn't been too costly. I know ideally you don't want to give him 3 or 4 runs through wides, but I think you still got a bowl well after those wides. It's easy to sack it off and give him a few cheap runs at the end there.
The other scores I'll bring you during this over as Rahan Ahmed is going to bowl from the pavilion end. This is the 13th over. 93 for 3 is the score. 55 to win for Yorkshire. Ahmed bowling right arm round the wicket. That almost digs into the pitch. I think Ali hit that into the ground, and it spurts up for Ahmed to field off his own bowling. So the other game in the North Group today, Derbyshire 58 for 3 in pursuit of 184 to beat Nottinghamshire. So 126 needed from 14 overs there. Lancashire 201 for 7 their total. So Glamorgan chasing that down, then 99 for 4 after 12 overs. Ahmed comes in. It's a flatter ball of a slightly shorter length, driven out to cover where Travaskis fields. In the Central and West group, Worcestershire 92 for 5, chasing 150, so 57 needed from 7 overs. Ahmed bowls this quicker and flatter and fuller, and back goes Moeen and glances this to Travaskis at deep mid-wicket. There's 3 players playing at the moment, it seems. Somerset hit 215 for 4 against Warwickshire Bears. I think have lost all 5 of their games, haven't they? As Ahmed moves away from us. That's drilled down the ground, straight as a dart down the ground, and runs away for 4. It's been a while since we've had a 4, I think. Or sort of bit of aggression and intent. When was the last 4? There was a 4 in the last over off green, but there's not been many. And that was a good hit there from Luxton.
Yeah, of course, Warwickshire, a new team in the competition this year.
Yeah.
No history to those fixtures. And they've always done well in the North Grove traditionally. They're one of the teams who tend to get to the quarter-finals, don't they?
100 for 3. So the 100 up off 12.4 overs. They're chasing down 148. Luxton is on 38 after that boundary.
Yeah, 12.4 compared to 13.6. Well, bang on 14 overs for Leicestershire.
Oh, appeal for leg before wicket. That's surely out. I think that's the wrong one from Ahmed. And he's celebrating, because I think he's pulled off the wrong one there perfectly and set up Luxton. So 4th wicket falls for Yorkshire. This game not fully over yet. 100 for 4. Luxton goes for 38 after a very good 38. And I'm right there, am I, Sol? I think if we watch the replay that's going to be a wrong one. Just judging by the line that Luxton played it.
They show the replay.
Yeah, we're waiting with a replay, sorry. But either way, Ahmed just showing a little bit of international quality there.
I think it would be a wrong, and he bowls a lot in T20 cricket, Rahan. It's a lot quicker than his leggy, a lot skiddier.
But a very good innings that.
It's a big wicket for Leicester, really.
From Luxton. So 48 needed from 43 balls for Yorkshire. And Ravis is the new man. It was his 52 that won Yorkshire the game in this match last year. And he's got a job again to see Yorkshire home. Here is Ahmed, full delivery, driven down the ground out of the middle of the bat from Revis. There's a county championship match going on today as well. Surrey and Hampshire are playing at the Oval. Is that a test match related? Must be. Why would they be playing a test match game today? Sorry, not a test match, a county championship game today.
Yeah, maybe because are they playing there in the next test?
Man looks something up on the computer.
It'd be strange if they played 2 in succession at London grounds, but it may be that it's the week after that and they want to get it done this week, so they've got an extra week to get the ground ready for a 3rd test possibly. 101 for 4 meant to 8 and a wicket off that over, and Revis on strike here.
Second test is at the Oval between the 17th and 21st of June, so that will be it.
Alex Green bowling to Matthew Revis there. That one wide of off stump through to the gloves of Cox. So just 47 needed to win. 1 ball shy of 7 overs in which to get him. Green in again. Revis turns it to leg. He's going to take on the mid-on and get through. He scored runs for fun last year across the formats, Matthew Revis. In this competition so far this year, didn't bat in the win at Trent Bridge. 13 against Derbyshire at Headingley, 19 up at the Riverside. A duck against Gloucestershire and 23. His best return on Friday evening against Lancashire. He got those pretty quickly at the back end of the innings. But he's watching on now as Moeen's on strike in the Leicestershire sunshine. That's aerial, but through a gap in the offside. Ahmed does the returning of the ball, 1 run.
This is a good battle, this, isn't it? You can see what Green is trying to do, and Ali's nearly falling for it.
Yeah, he's bowled well there. Like you said about the extras, but he's bowled 3.3 overs to 17 with an important wicket of a big player. So hopefully his next 3 balls.
Here's Green again. Nicely played off the legs this time by Revis. Ahmed's giving chase around the boundary and will get there. And are they going to go? Yes, no. They've had a bit of a mix-up and he's gone. Moeen is run out.
Wow.
And really, that was genuinely down to batter error. Yes, no, wait, sorry, I think is the expression. And there should have been an easy enough run.
Well, I think if you turn and go, there was a bit of confusion. Yes, no. See, look on the replay here. Yeah, a bit of confusion. If there's no hesitation there,
you get home.
Yeah, exactly. And that was a bit of a gift for Leicester's point of view.
That's a self-inflicted wound for Yorkshire, that.
Yep, and it's obviously a big wicket.
Yeah, so they come back. They're coming back for the 3rd, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
And yeah, they both.
Good work by Cox as well. Lovely dive.
Yeah, he picks it up 5 yards or so from the stumps and has to turn and dive.
Like a jaunty road. 2 stumps out the ground.
105 for 5. 43 needed from 38.
Yep. Challenge is now on, isn't it? You still should be favouring the batting side here with those sort of figures, but you've got 2 new batters out there. Matthew Revis has faced just 4 deliveries. Don Bess is now joining him in the middle. As you might imagine, not seen loads of action in this comp, batting at 7 so far. Green making his way in then to Bess, who plays a cross one that wraps him round about the top of the pad flap. No run.
And I like this from Leicester's point of view. Rishi Patel on the slips now. Just something best to think about. Add a bit of pressure. We've got aggressive field, and when the game's like this, I think these are the moments. You can take these moments out of these games and try and get a wicket here, which would be huge because Bess is dangerous at the back end.
Green making his way in again then. Final ball of the over, and Bess opens the face and drove that pretty firmly. It went to Ben Mike though at short 3rd. So 105 for 5 after 14 overs.
Heard the response from the Leicestershire crowd to that spell, because the 4 overs from Alex Green have been bowled. 1 over for 19, and off legitimate deliveries, that's 1 for 15 off 4. That is a very, very good performance from a young man, and he's put certainly 1 international on the back foot there. So 43 from 36 is what is required for Yorkshire to win this game. And when Johnny Bairstow was smacking the early overs around, you didn't think that we would be here. That's Ahmed to bowl his 3rd over, the 15th of this innings, and he's driven down the ground by Revis first up. Trumpeter's found a few people to sing with. As Ahmed turns, the only player without a cap in the team. Plays so nonchalantly but with such passion and enjoyment. He's moving Travaskis squarer to deep backward point, and he's moving Green squarer as well at long off, and bowls the wrong one, which is cut to that man at deep backward point. Bess, the new man, and he's off the mark. In his 78th T20, Don Bess.
Good cutter of the ball.
Ahmed in flatter. Oh, and there's an appeal for a catch. He's out. Revis. He turns grumpily, tucks his bat underneath his armpit, and a 6th wicket has fallen. That was a quicker ball from Ahmed, and it seemed to spit up off the surface. So Revis went to go and cut it, and he's feathered one into the hands of Cox. You have to say he's done a brilliant job to catch that. And now it truly is game on. The umpire's finger raised. Well.
It's a funny old game, like you said. Johnny opened the batting, and then we're here now. 6 wickets down. I think if Leicester keep taking wickets, that's what they have to do. If not, dot ball pressure. And Yorkshire, what's the run rate now? They're on the run rate, aren't they?
They 41 off 33. They are on about the run rate. Yes, 7.4 is the run rate. They're underneath it for the first time today.
So it's only 7.5 and over, though. You think, as a Yorkshire point of view, you think it's
gettable.
5 singles and a boundary in the head of it. But
if you don't lose your wickets, it's gettable.
Yeah.
Ahmed 2 for 17 off 2.5 overs. He's bowling round the wicket to the left-handed Fahim Ashraf, who guides us away behind square on the leg side. So there's the crowd have come alive too. So there's a good chance of Leicestershire downing one of the big boys here. He's going to come back over the wicket to the right-handed Best. They've moved a short cover in. Short extra cover, actually. There's a more generic cover, more orthodox cover. But this is played down off a full ball to long off, where Green is waiting. 40 to win off 31. He's just so good at controlling those middle overs, isn't he, Rehan?
Yeah, and that's what we've missed a lot. And I think with Rehan, I know he didn't score runs with the bat, but he's going to win us a game with bat or ball.
Ahmed bowls the wrong one. The googly to the left-handed Fahim, who leaves that, and that's the end of the over. 4 off it and a wicket. Well, 109 for 6 is the score, so Yorkshire need 39 off 30. The required run rate up at 7.8. They're going at 7.3, and there's a lot of pressure on the all-rounders now.
Yeah, the challenge is definitely on now. It's been slow progress, and I think you've got to give the Leicestershire bowlers a lot of credit for being able to apply that pressure, and they've just steadily taken wickets, and wickets always hurt you in any form of cricket, but particularly in this. Yeah,
and we saw it in our innings, Leicester's innings. You know, you take a cluster, it's tough in T20 to get that momentum back, and it's such a momentum game. This, when you have it, you've got to hold on for it.
Liam Travaskis back on for his 3rd over, bowling to Bess, who plays a deft little reverse paddle really down to the man at short 3rd man, Alex Green, who fielded it, and there was no run, so another dot. Travaskis in again. He's got his 2 straight men out, and this time Bess has played it straight back to him. 2 dots.
And you feel it as a batter. You feel the crowd getting in at a few dot balls. You look at that rate now, and then they're behind it. Yeah, the crowd are beginning to get involved as Bess goes long downfield to long on, 1 run. Ones of every 3rd delivery are not going to get Yorkshire home. Fahim, left-handed, field changes, deep backward square, cow corner, long on, long off. There'll be a square cover sweeper, yep. Travaskis coming over the wicket, and that's been lofted down the ground to long off. It was in the air for quite a while. You might have heard the ooh from 1 or 2 of the Leicestershire supporters, but it was always going to drop just a little bit short. 1-1-1 for 6. Quicker delivery this time. Best turns it to leg. There was a moment where it looked like he might be scurrying through and trying to turn it into a 2, but has to settle for 1 in the end.
So you mentioned, you said it right at the start of the innings, Jonathan. You said it's cricket's a funny game because Bairstow seemed to get the measure of the pitch so quickly, but it's funny, isn't it?
Yeah, here's Travaskis again, left arm over, and that's worked down to long on by Fahim. So singles again in favour of the hosts. 1-1-3 for 6, just 4 coming from that 16th over. 4 overs to get 35 runs.
Alex, Chris, Yorkshire looked like they were going to counter to it, didn't they? But they have suffered, it seems, as Leicestershire did, with the pace of the pitch and regularly backing up big overs. I'm just going to look here at the... So there were 11 runs off the 7th over, then 7 off the 8th, 6 off the 9th, 7 off the 10th, 8 off the 11th, 6 off the 12th, 8 off the 13th, 4 off the 14th. It's been very low scoring since some Bairstow bludgeoning early doors. 1-3 for 6. Fahim is on strike. Rahan Ahmed is going to bowl to him. He's bowling right arm leg spin round the wicket to the left-hander, and this is hit down the ground. That's a big hit. It's a great hit from Fahim. He's gone for 6 over the side screen, just over pitching that Ahmed, and that has rocketed away down the ground for 6. That's a big blow, that.
It just eases the pressure, doesn't it, especially off the first ball of an over. Yeah, and you look at the rate now and the back level. All it takes is one ball in this game, with bat or ball, to really just change the game. But again, see how Rahan bounced back here. He's bowled well today, and see how he bounces back the next 5 balls.
Won't have conceded many boundaries. Ahmed in his spell, he's coming back over the wicket and bowls the wrong one, dies in the pitch, and Fahim sensibly goes back and whips it away behind square to Davey, who's fielding there. 120 for 6, 28 to win off 22. And they're moving 2 men into the covers for Bess. That's obviously an area where they think they can try and snaffle him. Ahmed in bowls, and he does drive through the covers, and it's fielded by Ian Holland there, diving to his right hand side. Bess 4 from 9. Ahmed moves away from us, tosses this one up on a full length. It's driven down the ground by Bess. He'll get a single.
He's never a sort of crash bang wallop merchant. Dom knock the ball around. He can hit boundaries, but he's not one for sort of clearing the ropes and those really tight chases where you're needing 10 and 12 and over.
Ahmed edges and caught. Fahim has gone, and Ahmed celebrates wildly. Tossed it up outside off stump, trying to get the drive, and he got exactly what he wanted. Ahmed. Fahim trying to slog it over the covers, edging it, and a man at, what would you call that, a sort of fly slip short third man was there to take it. And Leicestershire have a 7th wicket. This game is going to and fro, isn't it, constantly? 1-2-1 for 7.
I think that's a brave bowl by Rahan, because he got hit first ball, he tossed it up, got hit for 6. He's brave enough to toss the ball back up later in the over to get the wicket.
Yeah, it's not a great shot, is it, either? I think on this occasion he's not using
already won
speed.
the over.
He's thrown it wide. Yeah, you've already got 6 in the over at this stage.
Ty, the new batter, who's been in this position, hasn't he, already this season, and has won the game for them. Here is Ahmed. Ty drives the googly down the ground, and Ahmed squats down and looks at the floor, because I think he thought he had him for a second. Ahmed 3 for 28 off his 4 overs. A wonderful return for Leicestershire's England international. 1-2-2 for 7 is the score, and Yorkshire required 26 off 18. We've got a thrilling finish ahead on BBC Radio Leicester, BBC Radio Leeds, and the Yorkshire stream on YouTube. Not Yorkshire stream, the Leicestershire stream on YouTube. Where are we?
Travaskis then to complete his set from the Bennett end of the ground. He's bowled them all from down there. None for 28 from 3 so far. Ty is on strike, and they've got 2 straight men out, as you'd expect, and that's flicked off the legs first up. And they're going to settle for a single. Rehan banging that into the pitch on its way back through to Cox. And I was saying, in those chases when you need 10 and 12 and over, Dom not clearing boundaries, but these sort of situations when you just use your loaf, knock it around. Mimori's bag, having said that, he just tried to pull one across the line and flicked it backward a square off the inside edge. He's got a single. Josh Davey unable to prevent it.
It's just 1s and 2s, even though that in reality they're not. You need a couple of boundaries, don't you? It just builds the pressure at the moment, builds the tension.
Yeah, 124 for 7. Ty's got underneath this one. He's going to be caught. He is caught nonchalantly once again. Well, our Yorkshire throwing this one away. They still need 24 runs to win, and they now have only 2 wickets left with which to get them.
Ahmed has been involved. Just looking at the wickets, he's got 3 wickets himself. That's his second catch. He's had a run out.
You can't get out of the game.
Yeah. But they do feel like they are throwing this away a little bit, Yorkshire. They've been put under just enough pressure, haven't they, for it now to start making an impact on the shots that Yorkshire are playing. Yeah,
and credit to the lads to keep fighting it out here. Obviously it's not done. 2 wickets remaining. Who would have thought when Johnny Bairstow was batting it would be down this close?
Yeah, 44 without loss they were after 4 overs. 124 for 8.
24 off 15.
Hassan Ali. Well, he showed at Headingley the other week that he's capable of striking a good ball, and in fact he came in on Friday night in the Roses match for the last ball of the innings and struck it straight past the bowler for 4. He's bowled him! Oh! Travaskis has knocked out his leg stump. And could this be a remarkable Leicestershire comeback success? They looked out of it, didn't they? Not only with the runs they put on the board, but after 4 overs of the Yorkshire innings at 44 without loss. 1 wicket to take, and Yorkshire, well, they're on the brink of an almighty collapse here.
Even at 87 for 3 after 11 probably, you would have said it was well within Yorkshire's control. And it's a brilliant ball from Travaskis. I don't think Hassan Ali was expecting that at all, was he?
Kind of rushed him, I think. Yeah. I think it's Liam's arm ball came out a bit quicker, skidded on the surface. But well bowled, Liam, to come back. Again, 3.4 overs to 30. His first one was quite expensive, so to come back and claw it back for the team, well bowled.
Don't know what Jaffa Chauhan's like as a bat.
Yeah, he's okay. I would imagine. Well, he's going to have to get some himself here, so it's not going to be a case of knock me a single and get Dom on strike. He's got 6 off 11, and Jaffa's underway straight away with 1. Are they going to take 2? Well, they can't really afford to risk a silly run out, and so they're going to settle on the single. 23 needed off 13 deliveries, and the pendulum has now swung in favour of the hosts. We've got to say, are favourites at this stage. Yorkshire have got to take some risks here, and they've only got 1 wicket remaining. Final ball of Liam Travaskis' spell, 2 for 31 against his name. And he's round the wicket. Oh, Bess plays and misses and just gets the foot back in before Ben Cox can nab his wicket with a stumping. So 12 balls to get 23 runs or 1 wicket for the Foxes.
Oh yeah, I'm going to go down, Jonathan, to try and get the post-match reaction. So you may see us home, you and Sol.
Okay.
So try and get the players as they come off.
Ian Holland to bowl over number 19 then. And that was an excellent over, wasn't it? 3 runs coming from it and 2 wickets for Liam Travaskis. And Holland, can he complete this rout? 44 for none, 125 for 9. Or will the Yorkies manage to find a way? Jaffa Chauhan's on strike. Holland bowling to him, then pulled across the line. It's in the air. They're only going to get 1. Oh, there's a fumble. They're coming back for the second, and they're going to get home. Hand of acknowledgement from Nick Kelly out there at Cow Corner. So 21 needed off 11 or 1 wicket. Who's going to crack? Holland in again. Driven square this time by Jaffa, but he's struck it too well really, because straight to the fielder. Yep, quick return throw, just a single.
I think Bess is the man now, isn't he? For Yorkshire.
We lost your microphone there. Try again.
I think Bess is the man right now.
Oh yeah.
Isn't he? He's the man.
Yeah.
He can win it for you.
20 off 10 is the equation, and he strikes this one clean, but no further than long off. There is another little fumble again by Ben Green, but it's not going to cost a run. 19 off 9, or 1 wicket. Field changes. Ian Holland moving the man out on the mid-wicket boundary a little bit straighter. Patel has been put in at short, fine leg. Long on and long off are out. Chauhan on strike. He's dragged that one into the onside. Another dot. 19 needed off 8. Adam's back. 19 needed off 8 deliveries. Chauhan on strike. And Holland bowling to him now, and it's flicked off the legs. They're going to try and turn it into a 2 here. They're going to have to try and turn it into a 2, really. The boundaries aren't coming. They've got that.
On-air production meeting has determined a change of mind about what we're going to do. Not over this, is it?
Could be this delivery. Are you taking it?
No, you go for it.
Holland then. In and bowling now. It's full. Sliced away down to short third man. There's no run because he went straight along the deck to hand. So 17 needed off the last over. That would end up being a remarkable win, I think, for Yorkshire if they pull that off, because that's the best over in the match so far, and Johnny Bairstow got it, and now you're relying on your last pair to do so, Sol.
Yeah, I think it'll be a big ask, but you just never know. You never know. I think Bess is more than capable. I think the Leicester boys know that. I think a few years ago at that game at Scarborough, he hit a few big ones at the end at Scarborough, so you just never know in this game. If this first ball goes for 6, I think everyone around the ground will be a bit nervous, but I'm backing my captain, Ben Gray.
100 for 3 Yorkshire were off 12.4 overs.
Yeah, it should have been just to knock it around, I think, as I was saying at the time, really, and put the bad ones away, but they've just lost a procession of wickets.
So it's Ben Green. Now, Ben Green has been tonked around a little bit this season, but surely this time it won't be the case. He's the perfect person to bowl at the death for them. The experienced head. He comes in, it's pulled round the corner. It is just going to be 1. Played behind square by Bess. So Chauhan is going to have to face the next few balls. 16 off 5. Well, there were real questions being asked about Leicestershire. Real criticism of them after 3 defeats in a row to start the season, but that is 3 wins on the bounce if they see this through. Beating top of the tree in the North group. Green bowling from the Bennett end. He's moving in towards us now. He bowls down the leg side, and that's going to be it's a wonderful take from Ben Cox, diving to his left behind the stumps.
It was a good job on it, really, because I think it was travelling so quick that I don't think Josh Davey would have got round to cut that off.
No, it would have been 5 wides. That would have, yeah, that would have hurt the boys with an extra ball as well.
So Green, broad-shouldered, comes in, bowls a full delivery that's dug out. Perfect Yorker. It's a dot. 1-3-3 for 9. The score remains, so it is 15 off 3 for Leicestershire. Just going to have a look at the what this would mean for Leicestershire in the table. They'd go up to second for the time being, but 4 points behind Yorkshire at the top, and they would have played a game more than everybody else. Green in, Bowls down the leg side. That's glanced off the hips off a low full toss from Chohan, but it is just a single.
And Notts and Derby are playing now, aren't they? So with the table,
yeah,
it'll be
14 off 3. Yes. So what's the situation there? Notts and Derby. Derbyshire will need 60 from 6.
6 wickets remaining.
4 wickets remaining.
6 wickets down.
1-3-4 for 9 Yorkshire. 14 needed off 3. Best waits, 8 not out. Best goes for this. It's high up in the air. There's a fielder underneath it. No, it just falls in front of Ben Mike, who was about 5 metres in front of him. I thought that might travel. It's a long boundary out to the left-hand side to the right-hander on the leg side. 1-3-5 for 9. So 13 off 2. So barring snookers, Leicestershire are going to win this game.
2 sixes. That would be the second tie in the history of this fixture.
Super over?
Yeah, super over.
Green. The penultimate ball of the innings comes in, bowls, it's hit straight back to Green, who's caught that, he says. And Leicestershire is celebrating, and they've won. It's an unbelievable catch. Chohan stands there slightly bemused, but Leicestershire have won the game. They have bowled Yorkshire out for 135, and they have won by 12 runs. At 100 for 3 of 12.4 overs, this looked well like Yorkshire's to lose, and in the end they have lost it. They've thrown it away a little bit, losing plenty of quick wickets from 100 for 3 to 135 all out. Leicestershire's 3rd win in a row, just Yorkshire's 2nd defeat in this competition, and a fabulous comeback from the Foxes, who have won in the end. What is a very strange game, Jonathan, I think, in the end.
Yeah, because for so long it just looked like it was going to be a formality that Yorkshire would win the match, but I think you've got to give a lot of credit to the Foxes bowlers, because, you know, they just kept on asking questions and Yorkshire couldn't come up with the answers. You know, a couple of daft wickets to lose there for Heems, in particular in terms of his shot, and obviously Moeen's with the run out. You know, two players who are still capable of scoring your runs, and they've kind of gifted their wickets away there. And in tight games, that can hurt you, and obviously it has done. Johnny Bairstow, as you mentioned, you know, looked like he was playing on a different pitch. 39 off 21. Will Luxton played very nicely, but unfortunately for Yorkshire today, very little else. And you know, yeah, well, you might want to have a go at that as a Yorkshire supporter. I think you've got to give plenty of credit to the way that Leicestershire approached that with the ball from a difficult position in the first instance.
Yeah, after those first 6 overs in the power play, I think it will give Leicester and the boys a lot of confidence how they scrapped. I think it could have been quite easy just to, you know, give up after that first 6 overs. They still thought they could still win the game, and credit to Ben Green and the boys. They set aggressive fields. They didn't allow easy singles. You know, they kept mid-wicket up majority of the game, try to force some dot balls and create a fake, you know, pressure building environment where you saw with a run out and a few catches up the shoot. So I think it'll give the Leicester boys a bit of confidence from that win.
So Leicestershire up into 2nd for the time being in the North Group. Jack, who would have had that down? They've beaten Yorkshire by 12 runs.
They have done. Sol, you must be absolutely delighted.